make you mine tonight. Pulling your hair, baby. I feel you breathing on me, on you. You know that I'm a selfish lover. When it's mine, I want it. One track mind for it, for you. I don't think I can let you go. I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Bet you love me before I go. I don't think I can let you go. I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Bet you love me before I go. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need, baby. Tell me about your dreams, tell me everything, yeah. Do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Party's never over for me. My favorite toy story. Polv is chasing me. Would he? Let me be a fantasy. Swiss Army King, they call me. Come find the key, baby, baby. I don't think I can let you go. I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Bet you love me before I go. I don't think I can let you go. I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need, babe. Tell me about your dreams, tell me everything, yeah. Do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Tell me what you need, baby. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need, babe. Tell me about your dreams, tell me everything, yeah. Do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll do it, do it, do it, do it. I don't think I can let you go. I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Please love me. Oh, I don't think I can let you go. Bet you love me before I go. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need, babe. Tell me about your dreams, tell me everything, yeah. Do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need, baby. Tell me about your dreams, tell me everything, yeah. Do it, I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll do it, I'll do it, I'll do it.
So I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, don't call me back, just say goodbye. I can't change the past, don't wanna complicate things. Maybe if I asked, was any of it real? Was it real? There's only one thing left to do. My heart is breaking on you. So I'll say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say goodbye. There's only one thing. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Yeah, I'll say goodbye. Don't call me back, just say goodbye. Let's put the sun back in the sky. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say I'll say goodbye. Tired of crying, don't call me back, just say goodbye.
You know it's creeping up on me. This frostbite gets deep into my bloodstream. Just trying to make the most of it. Babe, I miss your body. You make some kind of fire within me. It's almost like it's burning through my skin. Make myself feel warmer when you're near. Whenever you're near, come close. 'Cause I wanna be by your side. Wanna be by your side. Come close, get under my skin, give me a piece of your mind. Just for a while, stay by my side. I'm hoping for some brighter days. 'Cause I'm falling in the snow, it's getting knee deep. You make some kind of fire within me. It's almost like it's burning through my skin. Make myself feel warmer when you're near. Whenever you're near, come close. 'Cause I wanna be by your side. Wanna be by your side. Come close, get under my skin, give me a piece of your mind. Just for a while, stay by my side. November gets cold, December gets darker. Let me know when you're home, 'cause you're lighting a spark in me. Gets pretty lonely, I get so lonely. So stay by my side, come on close. 'Cause I wanna be by your side. Wanna be by your side. Come close, get under my skin, give me a piece of your mind. Just for a while, stay by my side. Side, wanna be by your side. prioritize peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? Baby, so can you take me on a date? The simple things you do to make me stay. Now it's like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? If you want me the way I want you, put your all into all that you do. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know?
Say that you will change the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you wear your hair. Change the way you dress, the way you kiss, everything, 'cause you are scared that I might leave you. Oh, why should I leave you? Baby, please don't talk to me that way. Talk to me that way. 'Cause I think you're perfect for
to the house. Don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window. I've been doing my best, taking a moment to rest, feeling stressed out. Give it a cut. I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go home with that. Jump on, jealousy, my bad. 'Cause I've been working all day. Can I catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey. Already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey. Catch a break. Better way. Oh, Mom and Dad's only daughter, do I make you proud? Writing my life in lyrics, do you like the sound?
All right. Okay. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of AK on Fire. Tonight's episode will be the third and final installment of our No Romance Without Finance series. We've witnessed the men take positions and even disagree vehemently on issues of hypergamy and hypogamy. Conversely, we've also watched the sisters somewhat struggle to articulate a clear position on hypergamy and hypogamy, much to the dismay of some of the brothers, including yours truly. The brothers have been itching for this head-to-head discussion for more than a week now, and tonight we get answers. No evasion, no political correctness, just the unvarnished truth. It's going to be a good one. Showtime starts now. He is introducing the panel. He is my brother. He's your brother and everybody's big homie. He's the one and only Rico de Plug. Next to him she is the host of Ma'at Speaks channel here on YouTube. She's the ever insightful and delightful our sister Ma'at Speaks. Next, he needs no introduction, but I'm going to give you one anyway. He's a throwback to the 80s, the 1880s, that is. He is the unapologetic caveman and a gentleman, Ray. She plays. Hey, what's going on? All right. She plays no games, can identify and break down your BS in a millisecond. Please welcome PeachDr.
Good people.
Okay. Next, he is everybody's cool ass play uncle, never sour, always sweet, Sweet Jones. And lastly, she speaks her mind all of the time, even when spoken softly. Please welcome Ms. Polly. All right, so we're gonna have to get right into it. I think one of you may have to. I think you have YouTube because I hear feedback in the back. Okay, so Doc, I'm going to begin with you. In the last episode, I asked you and the other sisters, why are women today still engaged in the practice of hypergamy, being though women today are very successful? And you gave a very passionate response. You said that you don't believe or you don't subscribe to hypergamy. You believe in partnerships. And you told a beautiful story about your upbringing, your family, and it was a touching story. And you said you didn't think that one partner being at a higher level socially should have any bearing on how you work together. And then when I asked you the question, okay, if a guy seeing this happens to work at Walmart and he makes $38,000 or $40,000, and he wants to get with you, you did a complete 180. Before we go into this segment, I want to say, hey, there's a big difference. Well, first, how about this? Let me play the let me have the clip lined up for you. Okay, so just do that. Okay. Just pull this up.
And I don't necessarily think that because you're up here and your partner is down here socially, that means that you all can't have and can't do because of that, because you may lack in a certain area financially, but maybe you are handling things on another level, which we're speaking about finances, but it's more to it than just your money.
So let me ask you this question.
Far more to it than just your money, like literally. And I think I even said this before, right? I think it's no doubt that when I look at relationships and things, I'm looking at it in a stance of like, I don't necessarily need your money. There are other things that I would rather have. It's not about your money. It's like, what else are you giving? What else are you bringing other than your bag? You bringing your money to me doesn't necessarily make me happy. It doesn't necessarily satisfy my wants and desires. Yeah, it can make life easier on some level for things money can buy. But there are other things, emotional support, that's necessary when you're talking about being in relationships. So I don't subscribe to that hypergamy, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question before I move on to Miss Polv. So are you saying you get a guy that works at Walmart? Shout out to all the Walmart employees, anybody who works at Walmart. It's not a dig. A guy who makes 40,000, 38,000, 40,000. You saying that doesn't matter to you? As long as he has a good heart and he's a good person.
So what did you just say?
I'm saying you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. I'm saying if you got a guy right now that's watching this, and he goes to work, to Walmart, and he's like, man, that PeachDr, I may have a chance. He's a good person. He only makes $38,000. You good with that?
That was a good try. That was a real good try, AK.
Oh, I'm just saying you don't have to answer it. I mean,
so one of the other things that we not discussed that have not been brought up in this conversation is I also believe in being equally yoked.
Well, you talking about equally yoked financially? Isn't so, Doc, there's a big difference between position A, that money doesn't make you happy, and irrespective of the difference in your social level, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to work together, and position B, saying that you believe you need to be equally yoked. Those two contradictory positions occurred about a minute and a half from each other. Please explain those two different positions.
AK, or what you thought you was putting me on blast, because you're not. So number one, and I said what I said, and I meant it. So for the brothers to feel like questions were being dodged, I was clear. I said what I said, and I meant it. So when we talk about, will you bring your 30,000 and you taking care of this and all this, that, and the third? So let's really talk about that, because there are women who are totally fine with their guy and their $30,000, and they make a whole lot more money than them, which is fine because that's what works for them. I'm not saying it necessarily works for me, I think there is a huge difference in that. And if I am handling me and handling things on my own,
okay, here's the thing. Because, in the last episode,
there's a lot of feedback.
I Ray, I think that's you. Put your headphones on. Let's see. I think that's you giving us feedback. But
can be anybody else but him.
Okay. In the last episode, you guys didn't really get to the question, and the question I'm asking you now is to talk about the disconnect. You said what you said, but you said two different things.
Yeah, you cut me off while I was trying to explain the rest of it.
Okay, my apologies.
You cut me off.
Okay, my apologies. Proceed.
But this is what you do. It's just, okay, I'm good. So as I was saying before I was so rudely cut off, when you made the comment about whether or not a guy can work at Walmart, and shout out to all those who are making an earnest living working at Walmart. And if I'm not mistaken, even another conversation that was had around this particular thing, like there's a tremendous gap there, right? And so for me, I stated when you asked me before tonight, and I said again, that doesn't work for me. Period. That doesn't work for me. Now, if there's someone that and things are more comparable, then yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
So that's why I said, and I believe in being equally yoked. So that's on all levels, not just on one level, that's on all levels. Okay. Financially, spiritually, I stand by that. Rico, I'm not done. So hold your question, Rico. So I also, going back to, like, you want to say that, women should be hypergamous and all this and the third. And I also stated that your money may not necessarily buy me happiness. My needs, my wants, and my desires are not in how much money you got, which is why I said I stand by what I said. So tell me what part of your question Doc didn't answer.
Okay, actually, not much of it, but what I'm going to do is I'm gonna let the panel know that this is open. You can feel free to challenge your fellow panelists and question your fellow panelists. All right, go ahead.
Please let him go.
I feel like then what was the purpose of the long story about how successful your parents' household was in light of, aside from the fact that your mother made more than your father and was better educated than your father. One, that's one thing. Two, you believe in being equally yoked. Does that mean that if you met a man who made triple your salary, that he would be disqualified?
Wow.
So going back now, thank you. I'm glad you asked that. Going back to what I stated about my parents and my upbringing, even though my mom made more money than my father, it wasn't that my mom was making $70,000 more than my father or more. That wasn't the case. So that is why I said, and we had this conversation before on a different show about a man is making 80,000, a woman's making 100-some thousand, and she doesn't want to be with him because I said she was crazy.
Yeah,
because that's more of something that's comparable versus your 100 to your 30.
But you also said that you are handling your business and taking care of yourself, and then does that mean that a person who makes $30,000 can be handling his business and taking care of himself? And
I never said that. That's his business. If he going his 30,000 and he taking care of himself, that's cool.
If he is self-sufficient and you are self-sufficient, then the talk about sufficiency should be off the table, and it should just be whether or not you two can enjoy each other's presence. Also, you become a person who is now $30,000 richer with the addition of that person, and you have companionship and security and all kinds of other things that come with
I mean, you're making an assumption that would be the case. I would be $30,000.
You're making an assumption that
when I could actually be, by taking on him and his 30,000, could be bringing on other stuff. So that doesn't make.
Oh, there's always
that doesn't
stuff,
make me richer.
But
I want to go back to something else you said, because you never allowed me to address the second part of what you had.
Okay, you're doing good at pointing out what people don't allow.
I just wanted to make sure I did not answer your question as you all proclaimed the women did not. So I just want to be very clear.
None of y'all really answered
because you weren't clear because you doubled back.
You didn't answer one question.
But okay, but go ahead. Would you eliminate a guy?
I'm good. I'm gonna continue to not answer the question.
Okay,
well, we know that. Hey, I got a
question then.
And Ray, nobody was even talking to you, Ray. You jumping in with me and Rico. It's me and Rico right now. It's not me, Rico, and Ray.
So would you eliminate a guy who makes 3 times your salary?
Who makes 3 times my salary? Maybe I would not. Maybe I would.
Well, I'm just.
It depends on what that 3 times my salary is.
Are you crossing the bridge? Or are you staying on this side?
It depends on what that 3 times my salary is coming with.
Well,
just because you make 3 times my salary doesn't make me be a good fit for you.
So now you're going to investigate what comes with the 300,000, but you didn't investigate the 30,000. You just
that wasn't the question.
Well, there's a question now.
It's the question now, but you said I wasn't presented that question
you
before.
Didn't you just eliminated $30,000.
I wasn't presented that question, so you can't do the comparison.
Well, you know, Rico, let me ask you this question.
Sure, sir.
Are women reluctant to admit being hypergamous? Your thoughts?
Absolutely, in one sense, but in another sense, they flat out tell the story of how hypergamous they are by who they will eliminate and who they will consider. We're going to do a whole background check on the guy who makes triple the salary, but the $30,000 guy, we don't even want to know nothing about him. He just automatically might come with other bad stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we'll see.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to make a comment.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. But I think one of the big issues is that there's a confusion between a man who's not making a particular amount of money and a man who doesn't want to be productive in life. Like, I think we're all in the minds of people is that, okay, well, he's only working here, so he's not going to, bring in this money or whatever. But I think the mindset is when you think of a man who's not working or not at a different position at whatever particular part in their lifetime, if you're in your 30s, you should have been working or whatever, then you will think, okay, well, why isn't he moved forward? Why hasn't he gotten more? But on the flip side, like I said, some people start all over again. They want to start a new different career. They want to do things different. But I think women are really trying to press the issue is, I don't want someone who's going to sit here and try to live off me and do the easy route and not do their part as a person. And I think we need to stop as sometimes women men are given the opportunity to get a high five for doing normal people things. I'm not going to congratulate you on being able to pay for your life, your house, and things like that, because that's what you should do on your own. So there's like a middle, I think that.
What do you congratulate a man for?
Not like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't congratulate them. What I'm saying is that
that's what
I'm
you
not
just
gonna
said,
be like, let me phrase, because I've had someone do this to me. When I had broke up with someone and I said, hey, I want a little bit. He's like, well, why are you breaking up with me? I'm giving you money, or I'm able to have a good job. I had all this stuff. And I was like, I understand that, but do you want me to high five you because you work? Because if you weren't with me, you're not going to work?
Yes.
That's weird. Why would you not work and make money for yourself?
Why would you choose a man and then not congratulate him for being a man?
I'm congratulating you for being a person.
Okay, but you choose a man. You didn't choose a person. You chose a man. Like, if I choose a woman, why wouldn't I congratulate her for being?
If you didn't choose a man is a person. What are you talking about?
Okay, that's true. But why would you? Okay, fine. Why would you choose a person and then not congratulate them for doing what a person is supposed to do?
Normal people things. That's strange.
Normal people things.
So you want me to praise you for brushing your teeth?
Did you just name brushing your teeth in your example?
Yeah, because it's just basic. Taking care of yourself is a basic necessity that everyone should do. If you're not doing that, you're not taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, then
you put on deodorant and lotion and perfume.
Maybe
do you put on deodorant?
No.
Lotion?
Why are you high-fiving me for putting on lotion? What kind of weirdo does that?
Okay, so you don't want a man that says, "Hey, baby."
No, who does that? That's weird.
Then what do you want your man to say to you? What type of conversation do you want?
You should not high-five me for being normal. That doesn't even make sense.
But let's be fair about
I am baffled beyond like.
All right, can I jump in here for a moment?
Go ahead.
Please do.
Because I think there's a sort of an imbalance in the way that we're communicating these ideas right now. Because I do understand when you're in a relationship with someone, you are going to tell them certain things. You are going to stroke that man's ego in a sense. That is okay to do. You are going to say certain things to say if he's working on his job and he got a promotion, you're going to congratulate that man for getting that promotion. Whatever, you're going to show appreciation for the things that he's choosing to do. On the other end of it, I think what is also being said is that there are men who only lead with their material things and without the understanding that just because you're leading with your material things is not enough for a relationship. It has to be more than that.
What does that sound like?
Well said.
What does that sound like? Because I hear a lot of people talk about these men who only lead with their money. And I want to know what that sounds like so I can recognize it, because
it sounds like Ray. That's what it sounds like. If you want
funny, because whenever we have a discussion about relationships,
hold on, Ricky.
The first thing that women lead with is their requirement for money.
Ma'at, what does that mean? It sounds like Ray.
Because when a person says women are coming to me because I have this type of house, I have this type of car, and he's not the only one, right? In social media land, that is what a lot of men are leading with. They're leading with their material things.
Social media.
Saying that that's it. That's all they're leading with, and that is, and you're going to attract a certain type of woman when you're leading with that. Just like if there's a woman, and women who lead with their body, they're going to attract a certain type of man.
We want them to lead with their body and their grace. However, now let me say this.
Okay.
I own an establishment and oftentimes work in this establishment in blue collar stuff, right? I walk around in like a security shirt or janitor stuff, and I'm
fake cop.
Hold it. I'm sweeping and stuff like that, right? And I speak to everybody. I say, "Hey, how you doing? Hey." And you know what I get? I get eye rolls and disgust, and I get women who go to the security guards and try to get me put out. And then I watch the look of astonishment when the security guard goes, "That's the owner." And then the same women by the table load will come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know." So that's not me leading with money.
That's not a good example.
That is a great example, because
how
will not even acknowledge me in any type of positive light unless somebody signifies that there's a possibility that I might have more than them.
That is not what Maya was saying at all. You
said that men tend to lead with their.
Yes.
I didn't say men tend to lead. I said, see.
You said you said they only.
I said there are some men that will lead with their money. And if you are, men in this space like to use the word disingenuous. So if you are saying that you don't know any man that leads with his money, you are being disingenuous in this conversation. Because if I said I don't know any woman that does not lead with her body, I would be told that I'm being disingenuous.
Well, no, we're not sitting here saying that women don't lead with their body, because but we care a lot more about your body than we care about your bank accounts. So
which is why y'all out there spending your money.
But that's the thing
you say
here.
What?
That's why y'all spending your money.
But that's the thing here.
Because what? Because it gets results, right?
Nick,
it gets results, right?
Somebody else on the panel, like, why are y'all just listening?
No,
to
you
Rico?
just opened your mouth. You said,
why y'all listening to Rico? Like, can
why do we spend our money?
Can you put Rico on mute? I think like there has to be some equity of voice.
Okay, here we go. So
equity of voice.
Okay, let's bring it back. So Ma'at, why do you think? And here's, I will say, here's my impression of your response during the last episode. I felt like you really struggled, not because you didn't understand hypergamy, because you were concerned about how your response would be perceived. That's the impression that I got, because what you said was,
that's the wrong impression. Well, the reason I struggle with hypergamy is because I don't practice hypergamy. I'm in a almost 15-year marriage. And when I got into my relationship, I was 22 years old. So do you think at 22, my husband was also 22 years old. Do you think my husband at 22 years old was making a six-figure salary at 22 years old? So I was not practicing hypergamy. So I struggle with it because that is not the type of relationship that I have. But I can sit here and I can observe and say there are women that are hypergamous, just like I can observe that there are men who only look at a woman's body first without even considering her mind, her spirit, the fact that I need to pour into her emotionally. So I can look at those things. I can look at women and say that women are not doing that. They're not appreciating their men. So I don't struggle with how I'm being perceived. I struggle with it, period, because that is not a part of my relationship.
Okay. Okay. The question that I asked, because it really, initially, it wasn't about you or any of you sisters individually. Yeah. What I said was, being that women are doing...
Absolutely was. You absolutely did.
If I may, what I said was that women were doing great financially. Women were doing great. They were doing better than men academically. They were making just as much money, if not more, especially those under the age of 30. I said, why is it? Is there a need for women to still practice hypergamy? And, that was the question that I asked. And you were telling me about how you didn't subscribe to hypergamy, just like PeachDr. And you said, I don't really subscribe to hypergamy, but yet I believe in financial security, which I wanted you to expound upon that, because some may say, what does financial security look like to you? Does a man provide financial security, or are you looking for financial security on your own, for yourself to provide financial security?
Well, I'm in a marriage. So financial security for me means that the children that we have together are able to do the things that they need to do, that I do have a roof over my head. Financial security means our bills are paid. In a sense, I'm kind of the wrong type of woman to ask, because I don't do all of the with the Birkin bags and all those different kind of things. So those things are not things that I find to be necessities. I find more holistic approaches, such as my herbs. And herbs can be expensive. So, those are things that are more necessities for me. So I don't struggle with what, the question of whether women are hypergamous, because that exists. But the thing is why do we need for me or any other woman to say that women are hypergamous? Like, why do we need to agree on that?
Well, so
hey, don't struggle to answer.
No.
Okay?
I'm the type I always choose my words wisely. Now, to say that women are not hypergamous, or to say that
I didn't say that.
You said, why should we even say that women are hypergamous? Did you say that?
Because I just said that women are hypergamous. I said there are women that are hypergamous.
You say, why do we have to agree? Why do we all have to agree? That's what she said.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So then you're saying that it shouldn't be something that we should acknowledge.
Okay, so again, I asked the question, what is the purpose of us acknowledging that women are hypergamous? Like, what is the purpose behind that? How does that push us forward? So is this conversation geared towards bringing Black men and Black women on one accord?
Yes.
And so if that's the case, why do you need for me to agree that Black women are hypergamous? Because
there are many Black women who believe that they're not hypergamous. When you look at let's look at the stats. Let's look at the divorce rate, right?
But you just said you wanted us to be.
Right. I wanted you to.
So if you want us to be what you're talking, who cares? That's what I mean. Like, you're telling us, I want you to be submissive. I want to take care of you. And I want you to acknowledge that you want me to do that.
Okay.
And there are women who do.
Well, here's the thing, if I may. The problem is, and I was trying to get to a point, is that women are telling men that money doesn't matter. It's about character. Rico, am I lying? Ray, am I lying?
They just said that.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. Sweet Jones, am I lying? That women say that, hey, character matters more than money?
Right.
You've heard that or not? You haven't heard that?
I've heard it before.
Okay. Well,
I've heard it before.
A lot of women say that, and including a lot of the women on this show said that character matters. Character matters more. Hanifa also said it, and I'll be showing a clip later on where she says that we need to focus on character. But the issue is, you have, like, you see the stat right there where it says 73% of Americans say finance is the number one cause of stress. Finance is a leading cause of divorce, right? And 70 to 80% of all divorces are initiated by women. Now, I know some people want to contest the studies. I've proven over and over again that the study was legitimate from the American Sociological Association. So a lot of these guys are getting blindsided, and they think that, hey, we're married forever, but you have women who are frustrated because they can't live the kind of life that they want to live because the man is not necessarily making the kind of money that she wants him to make. And so what I want us to have an honest conversation. And it's very difficult to be in a relationship if Ray is in a relationship with a woman and he thinks it's not about money, he thinks it's about love, and all of a sudden she's angry and she doesn't want to sleep with him, because that happens a lot. There's some women who they get financially frustrated and they refuse to sleep with their husbands, right? And then it turns into something else, and it's largely because of money. And I think the thing is, with a lot of sisters, they feel bad. They don't want to feel that this is a real thing, but a lot of divorces are happening because of money, and it's our sisters, it's the women that are initiating these divorces over money. Ray, when it comes to the conversation of hypergamy, do you believe that the sisters are being dishonest?
They're absolutely being dishonest. But when you have a panel of women, you're never going to get honesty with this. It makes them they feel bad. And I attribute a lot of this to the whole gold digger thing that we used to, the songs, all the rappers talk about gold diggers, and it makes women feel bad to admit something. Women hate looking bad in front of people. So whatever it takes to not look bad, lie, steal, kill, they'll do whatever they need to do to not look bad, because they feel like we're saying something negative about them. So it's always something. It's just like asking her how many bodies she got. It's no woman that's going to say, I had 50 bodies. They're going to lie to you. That's just what it feels, because it has such a negative stigma to say that I am hypergamous, because, listen, man, you can look at the definition up. It don't take but 5 minutes.
See, they
the cancer rep?
You went out.
He's still going.
Hey, you got
You got cut off.
Man, hey,
Boy, that higher power don't like ugly.
man, the women do you dirty every time.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the true folks.
I love that you brought up rappers and that.
Well, you gonna skip over all that to bring up rappers?
Well, you went out.
No, because the thing is because also within entertainment, the entertainment industry, such as rappers, what was also in the music that you so like to talk about. So why do you think women resort to getting surgeries and things like that? Because of the things that were presented in these music videos. And what did you even see in the music videos? They were also leading with their money. So we cannot dismiss the programming. We cannot dismiss the programming that has been placed in our society, in our culture, and then we just want to say, oh, women, you're like this. Oh, men, you're like this. When we have all been programmed and we exist as a collective. We don't exist in our own individual boxes where you just say, oh, well, you're experiencing this over here. We've all been conditioned at a certain extent, and we don't want to have the actual conversation. You want to have the honest conversation? Let's have the honest conversation. Let's have the conversation of where this is rooted in, as opposed to having this conversation where it's all women's fault, or women don't want to be honest, or women don't want to admit to being hypergamous, and how we have to say that hypergamy exists for us to really have these conversations. Well, let's talk about how white supremacy exists. Let's talk about that.
If you want to talk about the goalposts, that's not moving the goalposts.
That's not moving the goalposts.
Every time we get into a discussion, you start talking about something else. First of all, I wasn't even finished with nothing. And then you took the goalpost and you moved it 10 yards back, and now we're talking about white supremacy.
10 yards back.
We can't even have a discussion about it being true first.
It is true. I admitted it. I just admitted. Yeah, I said some women are hypergamous.
Okay, but he didn't ask you whether or not women were hypergamous. He asked you, should women continue to be hypergamous in light of the fact that they claim they are outperforming the men?
That's not the question that I was just asked.
That is the question that Abe asked you on
he asked me that on the prior show.
No, he does not ask you. He asked you, why should it continue to be that way?
I'm sorry. Did Abe ask that question? Because I missed it if he did.
The question.
About 20 minutes ago, when we first started, he asked that question.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay. I feel like, can I ask a couple questions in a minute? Because I just want to clarify.
Answer that question first.
Yeah, she can go ahead.
You don't get no questions answered on this channel.
No, why?
And that's the thing. Like when you say things like that, because you don't like the response, then you say you're not answering the question.
You don't like the response because it's not an answer to the question.
Okay, so ask me the question, because I guess I missed it. What was the question?
Can you answer the question for the fourth time that she never answered from the all women's episode?
Okay, so what I'm saying, is, women right now are doing relatively well. They're doing great, right? They are in some cases, doing better academically. The matriculation rate in universities is like 65% women, 35% men. They're earning more degrees. Women are making just as much money, in some cases more for those under the age of 30. With women doing so well, is there a reason for women to still be hypergamous, to still practice hypergamy?
Is there still a reason? So the question is there still a reason for women to practice hypergamy?
Right.
It depends on that woman's situation. Yes. It could be. Like, you want me to answer a question that I don't experience?
I'm not interrupting. Yeah.
Like, you want me to ask? I don't experience my personal life. I don't participate in hypergamy. It's one of those things.
300 seconds ago, you said, we are not talking about your particular situation or anyone's particular situation.
I get that.
This brother asked you a question. You said, I don't participate.
Can I finish?
I'm married since I was 20.
Okay. Let her finish. Please, Maud.
So you bring in your own individual experiences to talk about Black women as a whole. That is what you do. So then when I talk about my balanced situation and how my relationship is balanced and I don't participate in hypergamy, then it doesn't have to do with the point. We are all operating on our own individual experiences. That is why some of you men and women are angry to this day, because you have your own individual experiences. Everybody has their own individual traumas that they're operating from. So even when you see another Black woman and she has not done a thing to you yet, when you see her, you have already in your mind, has already said in your mind what she already
did. Do you mean any of the men on this panel, or do you mean people in general? I just need to know. Because I don't think any of you.
I think it's general you.
Whoever is projecting.
But she said you. I'm not angry.
Whoever is projecting on a whole group of people. So that could be a Black man or that can be a Black woman. Because
or you, who's projecting on a whole group of people.
This is what you're doing. Like you're trying.
She's projecting on a whole group of people, so she ain't.
I'm not projecting on her whole group of people. And are you saying that we have not experienced trauma? Are you saying that you have not experienced trauma?
Did I say that?
Okay.
Didn't say that.
But
I also didn't say that you were angry. You said that the men were angry. And
I didn't say, I wasn't talking about you men. I said there are men that are angry, and that comes from a place that comes from, this is not something I'm making up. Okay.
Who's
this is
angry?
not. This is not something. This is an act. This is real. This is something that.
Rico, 1 second. Let her land.
This is real stuff. Like, we have our own individual traumas, and if you are not being intentional and actually doing something and doing something about the pain or the hurt or the trauma that you endured whenever you endured it, and I'm not even saying it came from the hands of a romantic relationship that you're in, but until you actually address this, then how are you going to actually be able to have meaningful relationships and even a conversation? Because when we talk about the stress, let's talk about the stress as far as finances, what Abe is talking about as far as finances and how that leads to divorce. That comes from a struggle mindset, because anybody who has been in a long relationship, in some point in their relationship or marriage, they have struggled. You either find your way through it or you're going to find your way out of it. And we sit here.
Women keep on seeking the door.
We sit here and we focus on the little, small, minute moments in our life without really focusing on the reality of our situations. Because everybody has been through something and has gone through it and has gotten through it. And that is the
reality that the women keep on looking for the door.
People do not want to get through it. See, you're talking to a woman I don't know about, because I've been in a 15-year marriage.
But you know about the problem
that you're talking about.
You know about the problem.
Talking about your individual experience.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about a worldwide problem.
It's a worldwide problem.
It's a worldwide problem.
And how do you know it's
based on? Are those statistics worldwide statistics, Abe?
I don't know, but I do know one thing. I know I want to bring in Sweet Jones and then Miss Polly on this one.
There we go.
Sweet Jones, in your opinion, just let me know. I'm just asking you, do you think it's difficult for women to answer this question of whether they embrace the practice of hypergamy? Do you think they feel judged? What are your thoughts? And then Miss Polly, you answer the same question.
Well, I definitely think that when you present this word based off what I've come to know of it or to learn about it in these last 2 episodes, this word presents or comes with a negative connotation. So like I think Ray was starting off his earlier message by saying women don't want to look bad. So if you present them with something like this that paints them in a negative light, unless they are hell bent on, yeah, that's me, that's what I'm about, that's what I do, then it's going to be difficult for them to say, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for them to, admit to it, unless they just don't subscribe to it. And I'm listening to everything, and my aunt sounds like the wrong person for this conversation. It's like we want her, or this panel wants her, so individuals on this panel want her to speak to something that she doesn't identify with. Just because there's a greater broader problem, she can't address or answer the question based off of her individual experience. I think that's causing us not to get anywhere. So I had to say that.
I actually think that Ma'at is a great person to have on the show. I actually appreciate Ma'at's perspective, especially when it comes to the Black collective. And it's about having a diversity of opinions. Not everyone sharing the same opinions. I actually enjoyed the exchange between Ma'at and Rico. I don't want any of the sisters to feel that this is an attack. This is just an exchange of ideas. At the end of the day, we're family. When all of this is done, we'll move our seats from the table, man, and embrace each other because it's all love at the end of the day. Miss Polly.
Well, boy, cut me off smooth.
No.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. I was actually talking about Ma'at being an ideal person to talk to, and I'm sorry, I'm just used to transitioning. Go ahead and finish your point.
Miss Polly, you may step in, man.
Okay.
He was coming to you next.
Oh, that's okay. I appreciate it.
It's the same question. So go ahead. Go ahead and finish your point.
Okay. Well, I'll say I believe no, they should not. It's just the answer. No, but I don't think it's based on where their position is today. I think it's just based on, in general, what people should look for in partners that are going to be lifetime partners. Now, what I was going to ask, because I would love to know, because I hear a little bit of different back and forth of opinions on it. What is it? I'm not even going to assume. I'm going to ask, what is it that men, and just you guys can say your opinion or consensus, what do they actually want from a woman? So do you want them to be someone who's after your mind and uplift you and encourage you and be there through those struggles? Or do you want someone to see the things you've done and the hard work you put into your life and want you for the things that they see that you can provide them with? Which one is it that y'all would prefer if you had to choose one or the other?
Who's that question for?
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the men. So are you asking any man in general, or should all of us tap in on that?
I would love to hear everyone's, which one you would prefer. I would love to hear it so then I can just see where, where we're at. So, I'm really curious.
In my opinion, most men want women to be genuine about what they want so that we know how to come to the table. But you can't talk in circles.
Okay. But that's not answering the question.
If I'm a guy at Walmart, then I deserve the upliftment and encouragement I probably needed more than the guy who's already making $500,000. I'm sure I needed more. So don't abandon the guy.
No, and I agree, Roberto.
If in fact you are claiming to not be hypergamous, then you should be the perfect one. And if in fact you are,
why?
Which one do you want? Nico, you're not answering the question, baby. Which one do you want? It just should be one or the other. Just pick one.
Okay, what are the options now?
The option is, do you want a woman for a mental connection? You want her to be there through the struggles, ups and downs.
Okay.
You want her to uplift you, be there through all this process. You want her to care about your emotions. You want her to be there with you, right? Or do you want her just to notice what you've already put into your life, the things you've already done? You want her to see that and just want you for that. You want her to recognize your greatness.
Okay, let me
the first one.
We got it. We got to get ready.
But that's not what we run into.
We got to get ready to to go into this next segment. But before we close this segment out, I do want to ask Sweet Jones a question. So, Sweet Jones, you have women who they go out and they get educated. They get their degrees and they have their six-figure jobs. And they feel that that's something that they're bringing to the table, right? You've heard that before, right? Like that some of them say that I am the table, that this is something that they're bringing to the table. So why then is it an issue if men who are successful and who feel like they have a certain amount of money and they're bringing that to the table? Because the way it sounds, you hear people say, well, a man is leading with his money. Why is it acceptable for women to lead with their education, their academic accomplishments, and their career, but not okay for a man to lead with his financial success? Your thoughts?
Well, hey, you asking me, bro. To me, a man can lead how they choose to lead. A woman can lead how they choose.
You're not answering the
I
question.
personally can tell.
You're not answering the question.
Please let him
continue, Stan. We listening to the rest of you.
All right, as I was saying, at the core of me, I don't care how anybody leads. But to answer but to specifically answer what you're saying, it's okay when women do whatever it is they want to do, as long as they feel good about it, because that's all they care about. That's all a lot of them care about. They only care about what makes them feel good. Mm-hmm. They can do things and tell us that we can't do things. That's how a lot of them are just building programs. It's hypocritical, but it happens an awful lot. Mm-hmm. Men can sit here and say, oh, this woman, woman, go get your bread up, go get your bag up, and they look down on us for that. But then they can say, like the things, I think the title of the show here is "No Romance Without Finance." Go get your bag up before you come holler at me. Then, that's okay. It's a lot of that comes from them. Women do a lot of hypocritical stuff. Mm-hmm. But Jones don't, I can really, I'm gonna lead how I'm gonna lead, and you're gonna lead how you're gonna lead. We're gonna meet in the middle. It's either gonna work out or it ain't.
Yeah.
Yeah, PeachDr don't want no scrubs, so I gotta let her know that I make 3 times her salary so that she can check the rest of my resume.
I don't care.
And so, okay, so
man, she don't care.
Before we go on to the next segment, Miss Polly, are you still around, or maybe she stepped away for a second?
I don't make 3 times your salary. Trust me, I'm poor.
I don't.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I was sharing. I apologize.
No. Okay. So, if you want to double back, and finish out your point, I really apologize.
Yes.
And
no, that's okay. Basically, where I'm getting at is in society, and from let's just say going way back. We were shown as women, or men and women were shown that women should want a particular thing because they weren't able to do anything, right? The bar has been risen now. So we were expected, we don't have anything, we can't do anything. That's just what it was back then. Now it's changed, it's been changing, generally going. Now it's different. I don't think anyone should do that if they want a real relationship with someone who's going to be there long term, wants to be there emotionally. You get all that good stuff, you're not going to look to marry someone who just has money. You're not going to want the guy who just has all this stuff. And you're right, there's a large amount of women who are kind of mixing that lane. There are. I'm not disagreeing that they're not out here saying, well, if you don't make enough, then what's the point? But then in the same exchange, some men are saying, well, why don't you look at me? Because I make this much money, you should be praising me for being established, for putting in all this work. You should want to be with me. I should be able to get these women. But the men who haven't reached that point are complaining that no one's there to want them because they haven't got to the point that some women need them to be at.
Hey, isn't that Calvin? I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
If you want to, I kind of agree with that term that I do see women say, oh, you don't make enough of that. But I think that's silly at the end of the day. realistically, because money comes and goes. You guys see that all the time. You could be doing great and then something happens and you're effed. And then your women are all upset about it and acting out. No, I don't want that. You should be really trying to find people who are going to want to be with you for the right reasons at the end of the day. Because all that other crap goes away.
Right.
That's what it really comes down to. People are in the wrong mindset. But if you want to be a person who really needs money, you really need to get that security, you need that in your life to make you feel good, for whatever reason, then you're going to look for a man who hits a standard for you. And that's just you. But not everyone's under the same, not everybody's under the same thing. We're not all looking for that. There is a large amount of women who I believe have a little bit of confusion about where the line is. Telling you a man who is going to Walmart, making $30,000 and putting in work every day. He goes there every day. He's consistent. And he is showing you he's putting in that work. Why isn't he a candidate? Now, I do believe that's ridiculous. Okay. Because he's showing he's going to keep working. If something happens, he's going to find another job. He's going to keep pushing for you and him.
Ms. Polly, on that note, I want to segue on that note because I want to touch up. You brought up the guy who is at Walmart and he's making $30,000 and he's a hard worker. And so I want to, for those of us who are in our 40s, back in the day, there was the commercial about a brother named Calvin who was a hard worker, and he worked at, let me just share the clip.
That was McDonald's, wasn't it?
Yep.
Hey, isn't that Calvin? I haven't seen him for a while. Wonder where he's heading. I heard he got a job. Is that right? Well, it's about time he got himself together. Now that you mention it, there is something different about him. Just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. Looks like responsibility's been good for him. Well, I'm just glad somebody believed in him enough to give him a chance. Wonder where he's working. Welcome to McDonald's. May I help you?
All right. That was Calvin. That was Calvin. So, Calvin, he was on the block and, he got a job. Mickey D's hooked him up. He was making minimum wage. I think today is like $7.35, but back in those days it was like $3.35. I remember those days vividly, right? And so I want to come to you, Ma'at, and then to the rest of the women. You see, Calvin was a cool brother. From around the way, he got a job, had a little pep in his step, and he's turning his life around. And so, let's say you have Calvin's not a young boy. He's about same age as you, Ma'at, and let's say you have 2-3 kids. And, God forbid, whatever the case, you and your husband are not together. Now you're single, you're tired of being alone, and you have 2 potential suitors. Calvin is a great guy. He has good character and he's funny. You like being around Calvin. But Calvin makes, $20,000, $23,000 a year. And then you got Melvin. Melvin looks kind of like Calvin, but he's stiff. He's a cornball. He's boring. You don't have as much fun with Melvin as you do with Calvin, but Melvin makes $80,000 a year, and he'll be a good provider. Who do you choose and why?
Let the tap dancing begin.
Wait, who'd you ask?
This is for Ma'at. This is for Ma'at.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna speak in a minute when it's not on Ray.
It's not on Ray. You're looking at the okay. Zoom.
All right. So, are you talking about me right now? You're saying like right now in my 30s,
right? So right, you're in your 30s. You say you have 3 kids. You're single. You're not with your husband. Say whatever the case. God forbid. You're just not together. You're tired of being alone. You want companionship, and you have two potential suitors. One is Calvin, and Calvin he's funny, he has good character, but he makes $23,000 a year. Melvin is kind of a cornball, he's goofy, you don't like him as much. They kind of look similar, but Melvin makes $80,000 a year, and you know he will be a good provider. Who do you choose and why?
So, first of all, I would choose the person that I could see myself growing old with, and that would most likely be the person who is not a stiff, because that's that real life happened to me. But yeah, I was younger, so I was younger, but at the same time, it's like
you have bills, and you have kids.
I mean, it's so many layers to this. Like,
it's not that decision is not difficult.
I answer the question. So you want me to say
no, you're saying that there's layers to this, and what I'm saying,
but see, this is what y'all do. Like, y'all do this in these spaces. Y'all want me to say A or B without adding the nuances within that.
Okay, my apologies.
Ask me as who I am today and the way that I think. Yes, I would choose the person that I could have great conversations with. I would choose the person that makes me laugh. I would choose the person because that's who I chose when I got married. That's who I chose. I chose the person who made me laugh. I could have conversations with, that I could grow old with. So again, you're asking a person. I don't subscribe to hypergamy. You're asking me something that I just don't see, because I'm also a person that if I need to get up and I need to go work a few jobs in order to make ends meet, I will do that. So that's who I am. So at the end of the day, who I would choose is that the first person, I guess the first person you said, he's not making as much money, because at the end of the day, this person can rise up. He can go up, he can go up the ladder. He can make more money, like there are so many dynamics to this.
But if he doesn't,
I'm not going to be miserable just for the sake of money. Like, that's not me. I'm not going to do that ever.
And I can appreciate that. And I think the thing is, okay, looking at your situation, you pretty much grew up with your husband. I mean, not as a kid, but I'm talking about in your adulthood.
Yeah.
And it's different.
But I've known him since I was 12.
Yeah. So it's a little different. It's a little different. You can't really compare that. But I will say that you have some women who didn't grow up with the man, even in adulthood, that they have a guy that they like. It makes them feel good. And within several years, they'll say that the spark is not there. And, finances and financial problems has a way of doing that. In fact, a lot of the people who are getting divorces, in the beginning, they couldn't keep their hands off each other. They loved each other so much, it was bigger than money. But money has, or the lack of money has a way of changing quite a bit. Let me move over to Doc. Doc, you heard in the commercial that lady said there's something different about Calvin. So why would you give this guy an opportunity to be with you and give him a shot at happiness and love?
Are you saying in the case of Calvin and the other guy who makes 80 or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you the same question. Who are you choosing?
I'm choosing Calvin. Is he the one with the 20,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's who I'm gonna be choosing. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Ray, what's your problem? I mean, you can't accept my answer. What's your issue, sir?
So your issue is just Walmart. It's not.
Wait, Rico, don't finish your statement.
It is because this is.
Can I finish?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. But this is a hell of a development because Hey, just last week, you
trying to be petty.
hold on. I'm not trying to be petty.
Yeah, you are.
No. It's about consistency. It's about consistency. All I'm saying. See, here's the thing. With my aunt, no matter how hard we press her, she has been consistent on her position. Okay,
really?
she's been consistent on her position. Right?
I have too.
No.
But you just refuse to accept it, and you refuse to let me finish my thought. But that's typical of you.
No.
Part of your brothers. No. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. She has been consistent, Abe. I told you, you're missing something. She's been consistently inconsistent. So you're right. I apologize.
Okay.
PeachDr, right.
PeachDr, I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm trying to understand.
Okay,
why wasn't the guy who made $40,000 at Walmart good enough for you, but the guy who makes $22,000 at McDonald's is good enough for you? See, this is what's confusing. Explain that to me.
I can tell you, and I can clear all up your confusion, but you got things messed up when it comes to PeachDr.
Okay.
So I'm answering your question based off of the scenario that you're putting out there. You gave me somebody who I would not even be attracted to, not even his account, versus someone that I probably would be most likely attracted to, and that's what he makes.
I said they look the same.
No. So therefore, there's no confusion about my statement. But you guys wanted to believe that, but just because he's not on her salary range, then he's not good enough. That is not what I said, but that is what you're trying to make it out to be. You can't flip back any more clips and bring up where I said that. Crickets.
No, please. I'm
we really didn't need to respond because you're not really clearing anything up right now. You said you're gonna.
He asked the question, and I stated
the brothers look alike.
I stated, Rico, put your hearing aid in. I stated that based off of his scenario that he gave me, which was somebody who's a stiff, making all this money, versus somebody who's probably more my type, is what I said. And that will be why I will choose him, because he's more my type.
So he's equally yoked with you.
So basically, he didn't do a great enough job of explaining how great a person was that worked at Walmart.
So in regards to what you stated, if he's equally yoked with me, that's a whole nother story, because that's not what you presented. That's not what you presented. You presented me a scenario where there are two guys, one that makes a whole lot of money, the other one that doesn't make so much money.
Oh, okay. So I'm clear. Outside of that scenario, Calvin would never stand a chance.
Outside of that scenario, what?
Correct. Calvin would not stand a chance.
You know what? Again.
That's a question.
He may not.
Well, what's the purpose of answering questions if you're just going to keep it in?
Because it clearly depends on what I'm being presented with. And furthermore,
but are we not here for clarity?
Let me finish. Furthermore, for someone who has been shunned by you men for making more money, that's where I have
shunned you for making more money.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
None of us know what you make.
I'm just saying in general. It's been an issue, and I said this probably my first time on, about it being an issue with me being in a relationship with guys or dating guys, and I'm intimidating to them because of what I do in my money.
Why do they know how much money you make?
It's neither here nor there. It's probably not It's neither here nor there.
Why do they even know how much money you make?
That's neither here nor there.
Why does someone who's dating you know how much money you make? It is here. You said they're intimidated. Why do they know how much money you make?
Next, I'm not. That's so irrelevant to what we're talking about.
It's absolutely relevant.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with nothing. That proves 0 points.
How can you be intimidated by something you don't know?
That proves 0 points, man.
It proves every point. It proves that you lead with your money.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
The first thing you talked about on the first show that you came on.
That was what was presented. I was asked a question. So I answered the question. So don't try to
just ask the question.
Oh, I'm about
why
this
do they know how much
money? You don't know me in that regard. You're making a whole hell of a lot of assumptions.
Stating the obvious. I do not know you.
You're making a lot of assumptions tonight.
I'm not making any assumptions. I'm asking you.
You're making a lot of assumptions. You're making
I asked you a question. I didn't assume anything.
Yeah, you did.
You
assume that I lead with my money, which is a complete.
I said you led with your money.
I don't even start with what I do. It's not a matter of when somebody sits at a table with Kimbria and say to her,
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm XYZ. That's not even the gist of our conversation. So that's where you can stop right there because you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know that you have.
No, you don't.
In your name.
Okay.
Right? And I do know that you proudly claim to be accomplished. I do know that. I do know that you complain that you've been shunned for making more money. And I'm just asking you a simple question. Why?
I answered all your questions.
Why do they know how much money you make?
I've answered all the questions.
Recognize that it's been a problem in the past. So why?
I've answered all the questions. First of all, it's public knowledge.
Okay, I want to bring in Ms. Polly. Same thing, hypothetical, and based on your previous positions, I think you wouldn't have any problem going with with Calvin, who makes $22,000. But you also have a unique position that I don't think any of the other sisters on the panel have, right? As your name suggests, Miss Polly, you are, if you don't mind me sharing, you're in a polyamorous relationship, and you have you have multiple boyfriends. Can you let the panel know how many boyfriends you have?
I have two right now.
Okay. Has there ever been a time where you've had more than 2 boyfriends at a time?
Yes.
Okay. And each of your boyfriends, they all know about each other, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So your situation is unique in that, unlike some of the other sisters who are monogamous and they want everything in one person, that's not the situation with you. Because what you don't get from boyfriend A, you can get from boyfriend B, and what you don't get from boyfriend B, you can get from boyfriend C, correct?
I will say not necessarily, but I mean, there's more. Like, what do you mean more from? I guess.
No, because it's hard. I get
what you're saying.
Human beings are not Mr. Potato Head. You just can't build them.
Yeah.
So
I don't want anybody just to get the perception that I'm building my own man. With multiple people. So yeah, I mean, I want to date someone in whole. Like, I would date you individually, by yourself, standalone. So that's the only thing I want to make sure. So I get what you're saying though.
So, but without question, you're giving Calvin a shot.
Oh yeah, I have no issue. If you can come step to me, and you are trying to genuinely get to know me, and I don't have no issue. Let's get to know each other. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah. Okay. I got to, before we move on, it's coming to the brothers. Do you believe, Sweet Jones, do you believe that a lot of sisters would give a good brother who, his brother has good character, but he's broke? Do you believe they're giving him a shot? A lot of sisters. Honest answers.
This day and age.
But he broke though. But what we're talking about is, but he broke though. Let me just.
And Stan, you look different.
No, he got his head down.
Sweet Jones, you look different.
He got his head down.
Hey, bro.
Oh my God!
I ain't gonna lie.
I get a word out.
Kind of nice looking, bro. I ain't
second time in a row, PeachDr.
Hold on. Go ahead.
It's the second time in a row, PeachDr.
But you didn't say that with Rico.
Back to my.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
A lot of women these days ain't going for it.
Right.
In my opinion. To directly answer your question, because you used the word a lot of women I don't think are going for it. But just with everything else, I know of exceptions, but a lot of women just ain't going for it. Is the way the world works today, the messages that are being put out there, you know, they're kind of similar to the messages that were put out in the past, but they're a little bit more blunt these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's more, you know, it's more direct and in your face. You know what I'm saying? As far as what women think or expect from men out here in this day and age. But I know a lot of women who will take a joker that ain't making no money. I know a lot of women who like, as some women call it, build a bear men. I know, I got them in my family. I know friends. But the majority is gonna be that they ain't going for it.
Ray, let me bring you in. Same question.
Well, it's weird to me that all three women on the panel said that they would talk to Calvin. It's just weird to me that they say that, because I can't imagine Calvin having that many options. I just don't see it. But it's some odd about someone that would say all three women, 3 out of 3 said they would be with Calvin. It's just incredibly odd to me. It's just the guys like that don't have as many options as guys who you know, are doing better for themselves on the financial level. But all of the women say, like one of them would say they wouldn't give him a chance. It's just, it goes back to what I say, that women don't like to look bad. And just like you heard Miss Polly just got through saying, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to build a man. Other people's perception of them is very important. It's more everybody's perception, to men too, you know, but
yeah,
not to
let's be real.
Men and women, but not to the same degree as women.
No,
women don't like to look bad. Women do not like to look bad, and whatever it takes to say what they need to say. But the thing is, you don't have to actually live that life to understand the point that's being made. Just because it's not your particular situation, it doesn't mean that you can't say, I understand what you're saying. So you have to actually live that life in order to understand it. That's the crazy part about it. It's just another way of deflecting. It's just another way to get, the only way that you can understand is if you have to have lived that life. Like Mike keeps saying, that's not my situation. Okay, because it's not your situation, you can't understand it. You can't see what he's trying to say. I'm sure that you have female friends.
Who are we talking about?
I said my aunt, like you keep saying, that's not my situation.
No,
so
I understand. I know you said my name. I'm saying, whose situation am I supposed to be seeing?
You didn't hear yourself when you said, hey, I can't speak for hypergamy. Any subject is, that's not my situation, so I can't speak for it.
I didn't say that. See, you don't be listening. That's that it's part of it.
It's so hard. It's first of all, it's hard to finish a statement. Now I sat here quietly. I didn't say one single word this whole time.
You brought my name up. You brought my name up. You brought my name.
Go ahead. It's your stage. Go ahead, sweetie.
So I did say that there are women that are hypergamous. I can acknowledge hypergamy. I can acknowledge the current dating climate. I can acknowledge all those things because I have children, and I want my children to find spouses that are going to treat them properly and correct. So you might not be able to understand why a good man like Calvin, who has a personality, who has a strong work ethic, who is funny and charming, can get women, because you don't have that personality. So you're wondering, how can Calvin get all of these men, because you are not.
Calvin doesn't want men. He wants women.
Like,
he doesn't want men. I don't think he wants men.
Like, sure, it's not, it really, like, y'all like to do this. Y'all like to divert the conversation. But the thing is,
Calvin gay.
Okay, that, first of all, if we really want to talk about the commercial, we can talk about how the commercial was programming and how McDonald's was trying to actually get kids. So, you want to divert the conversation. I'm great at really talking about.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you did that earlier.
Good at diverting. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But again, you brought my name up, so I am going to respond to what you're saying. I can understand so many things on so many levels, But because I don't experience it and I don't subscribe to it, see, a lot of you men want to say, hey, woman, you're not submissive, but you should want to be submissive because that's what women are supposed to do. Like, I'm not your woman. I don't have to.
That's what this episode is about.
I don't have to agree with your experience. Like, I'm not with you. Like, I don't have to agree with it. We don't have to connect on that. Like, you're going to turn off this camera and go on be with your life. I'm going to turn off this camera and go on and be with my family. So I don't have to agree with that. So if you don't want me to interrupt you, just don't bring up my name. I understand hypergamy. I can understand why some women would want to be hypergamous. I can understand women being in their 30s and 40s and saying, I want to be in a financial stable relationship. I can understand that. I can understand men who say that I don't want to be having a hypergamous woman, or I can understand a man who leads with only I can understand all of those dynamics, all of those situations, and I can still say that is not my experience. I am not hypergamous, and I'm not going to live my life like that. You want to put everything in this box because that is what you are. You are you're one-dimensional. I'm not one-dimensional. I'm multi-dimensional. I exist on several different layers, and you don't understand that. That's why we can't connect on anything, because you don't understand my existence and my reality, and that's it.
Oh, Miss Girl, she just got you together.
I just want to say, who hurt you? I'm just saying. It's like, no, I'm just playing. Like,
so, Ray, can I ask a quick question before? Just real quick, do you like hypergamy? Like, is that something that you think that you're that's positive for you, or no? I'm just asking.
Who you asking?
I want to know who you ask. Okay,
Ray,
so is it okay? I want to say some stuff, and I want to get to the end of it. I haven't been able to. I'm
sorry. Go ahead and finish, Bo.
Is everybody all right with that?
Yes,
damn. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I've said this many times on the show before, that I don't think hypergamy is a negative thing. And it only drives men to do better because our number 1 and 2 goal is women and women. And any man will tell you that you cannot influence a man to do better with his life outside of women. It's impossible to do. Rappers, drug dealers, multimillionaires, billionaires, they all influenced by women. You don't even understand the power that you have over us because we do almost everything directly and indirectly to get women. It is a compliment. And I say all the time, no, women should not. And I said that on a few shows back. Women should not stop being hypergamous because it drives us to do better as human beings. It's a reason why nature gave you all the hypergamy thing. It's because it makes us do better in life. So I don't know why is it, what? Anyway, so like I say, it's a reason why nature gave women this whole thing since the beginning of time. Kings and Egyptian kings and people who run the businesses and have billions of dollars or millions of dollars. People try to do better to attract women. So it is not a negative thing. It only makes you do better. Because listen, if I did not need to be hypergamous, I mean, if women were not hypergamous, the chances of men going to college, going to do these dangerous jobs that are hazardous, they wouldn't do them. And who would have the lights? Would we have all this? Would we have this establishment if men were not interested in pleasing a woman or turning? No, we would not. It's no purpose of doing it. If I could go and be Calvin and work a part-time job at McDonald's and still get a gorgeous woman, it's no reason for me. It's no reason for me to do that. Right. It's no reason. So of course I think that it's okay. I don't see anything negative about it. And as one time I heard Hanifa say on the show, maybe we should eliminate the phrase gold digger. Right. And she has a damn good point. Right. Yes, I think that we should not bring up gold digger anymore because I believe that women they gravitate toward hypergamy. And there's a reason why we got this subject going on, because we see a lot of women that want men who make a lot of money. Those men have a lot of options. They have unlimited options, man. And so this hypergamy thing is something, even though we're tap dancing around it, even though the last show was tap dancing around it, it's something for a reason. It's something for a reason. We didn't just pull it out our ass.
Let me say touch on the whole gold digger, and I agreed with our sister Hanifa when she said that maybe we should get rid of the word. But gold diggers are a real thing, and I think the problem is that we conflate an hypergamous woman with a gold digger. Okay, because at the root of the word hypergamy is gamy, which means marriage, right? Monogamy means to marry one. Polygamy means to marry multiple. Bigamy means to marry two. Hypergamy means to marry up. Hypogamy means to marry down. But gold diggers are about almost just what it says. Like a person who used to dig for gold, like during the 49ers, the California gold rush. They dig, extract the gold minerals out of one mine, and once it's depleted, they move on to the next. And that's what a gold digger is like. A gold digger as a woman, she goes in, sucks out your resources, and when the resources are done, she's gone. I don't necessarily, I think the problem is that we conflate being a gold digger and being hypergamous. And I just think that's wrong. But let me bring in Rico. Rico, what say you on the same question? Do you believe that most sisters would give a good brother a shot if he didn't necessarily have the make enough money? Well,
first I'm going to say that you did a great job of pointing out the differences between a gold digger and a hypergamous woman. You did a great job. Your question, you said if he didn't make enough money. So the answer is an easy no on that. So maybe you shouldn't say enough money, but let's just say if a brother wasn't like making a lot of money and by a woman's standards, I still don't think she would give him a chance. Most accomplished women would give him a chance. No, absolutely not. If a woman now is trying to get a job at McDonald's and Calvin already has a job at McDonald's, then she might give Calvin a chance. And you definitely have some exceptions to the rule, but I don't think that, no, that's still shooting up. You definitely.
I didn't do that. Stan, I did not do that.
I'm just saying.
I didn't do it. I repeated it.
Okay. All right. You definitely have exceptions to the rules. You have some exceptional people out here in different arenas of life. But for the most part, I don't think that women would give a brother. I don't think most of the women on this continent, United States of America, I don't think they would give the brother. They would knowingly give a McDonald's worker or a Walmart worker a chance, unless they just wanted a discount at McDonald's or Walmart.
Okay, I'm just getting a little confused on what you're saying, because I hear what you're saying, Ego.
Okay.
And so you're saying that they wouldn't give him a chance. Are you saying they should give him a chance, or they should not, because they should be?
No, I'm not saying that they should give him a chance. I'm saying that I don't believe they would. However, if you're just saying that you want a man of good character, if you're just saying that you want a man who's loyal, or if you want an attractive man or whatever, then if he meets that criteria, then and you eliminate him because he works at McDonald's, then you should also be honest about the fact that you want a man of means. If you don't, if his means don't matter, then that should not be the automatic elimination thing. Like if it doesn't matter, then you shouldn't automatically eliminate an average or below average earner.
So is the real issue that men just want clarification on if women should want them or say what they want and mean what they want? Is that really the issue, or is it, you know what I'm trying to say? Because you're saying you should, well, Ray did, and I actually agree to Ray. If you want to be hypergamous, our system kind of runs on that, and you should want to marry up. But then you're saying women are saying, no, that's not true. We really Or like, is it more of a, you're saying women self accountable for not telling the truth or being honest? Is that what?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to clarify.
That's it. That's all we're saying. Like, if you're hypergamous, that's fine, but be honest about being hypergamous. Don't say it doesn't matter, and then I say, hey, here's my boy right here. He's a good guy. He's a solid dude. He works down at right there. You know, the same Walmart you go to all the time. Good looking.
Okay, you're saying women aren't clarifying, or women are backtracking. They're saying, "Oh, he's a great guy," and then find out he makes 30,000, and saying, "Well, he's not good enough for me," and that's making men confused. That would
we get confused a lot by what you all say you want from us, because it's always something different. It's always subjective, and it changes from second to second. And Calvin really wouldn't get. He probably would have a girl or so, but he wouldn't get that much play. His options would be incredibly limited, because we listen to what you all say and we take that and apply it to life. But what you say is not necessarily what you want. It's a trick. So if we listen to what you say, we'll be stuck out, because we listen to what you say. You will do what it takes to get you. And by you all being so honest about things, it's very hard to get a pinpoint on what you want. It's very hard to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask this. Then this is just a fair question. I will say, do you think that then it is fair to say that men want us to be more honest about things, and then men also will say that the same honesty you're asking for, as you hear the honesty, for example, the body number, and then oh snap, you're not good enough. So isn't it kind of the same thing?
No, it's absolutely not the same thing.
You're asking someone to be honest. If they're honest with you, you're saying they're not good enough.
Okay, that's right. You know, because someone is honest and they appreciate your honesty does not mean that they're going to accept your shortcomings, you know, what they consider a shortcoming. So if a person says, hey, I want you to be honest, and you brought up body count, and then you say, yeah, well, I slept with 30 guys last month, and they go, oh, they're not penalizing you for being honest. They're just removing themselves from a situation that they find undesirable. I don't mind if you say that Calvin's situation is undesirable, if you're honest about the fact that it's undesirable simply because Calvin makes $23,000. If you're just being honest about that, then Calvin gets to take that and say, well, if I want this class of woman, then I've got to do better.
Yeah.
Just be honest about it, though. Don't say, you know, that really doesn't matter. But then when Calvin loses his job, he loses his wife and his children, and he's like, what? I thought we were in love. Like, it's just be honest.
A lot of men fall victim to that. A lot of men fall victim to saying, you hearing it doesn't matter and all that, and then those men get looked over, to be honest with you. Calvin wouldn't have that many options in the neighborhood.
You never heard a dude say he outgrew a woman.
He just wouldn't, man. All y'all saying, 100% of y'all said, yes, I will give Calvin a chance. Do you really think Calvin out there stroking like that? Calvin's struggling, man.
I give PeachDr her props, because she did go back and say, in this instance, I'll give Calvin a chance. But in reality, I would not.
She wouldn't give him a chance.
Right. Okay. Well, we respected her candor.
So we always respect honesty.
You had zero respect for me. No. You really did not. You did not respect me at all, AK.
Okay.
Rico.
You see. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to say. I'm going to say
out how much I respected your honesty.
I'm saying, because here's the thing. Because when you do that, I get hate mail because they think that I'm attacking you guys, and I don't have respect for you. And you know I do. You know I do. But maybe, you know I do. Please don't. Well, I'm getting a lot of hate mail.
No, let my speak. Let her speak, please.
It might be your it might be your affiliation. It's more of your affiliation.
Oh wow! No.
I didn't say anything. I did not say anything.
Wow!
You're not fair, Abe. You're not. You are not fair.
Oh, wow.
When you come off very
right.
And then you tried to accuse me of not being able to not take it. I'm flip-flopping or my sides or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not. I know
not accusing you of flip-flopping.
Okay, Rico. Hey.
Yeah. I'm doing the thing that you did to Abe on his show. So why
no
problem
No,
I'm sorry?
no worries. Hey, look.
Just saying, that's we having a conversation.
Let's go. Let's go to 50-50.
A lot of voices.
I want to talk about this 50-50 relationships. We talked enough about hypergamy. Let's talk about 50-50 relationship. Who's responsible? Are women really are they really into 50-50 relationships? So on two episodes ago, the men were talking about splitting things 50-50. And our brother Sly had a few things to say, and I wanted to cue up this video and play this for you. Let's take a look at what Sly had to say.
It got stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's like there are black women. There are black women that do these things, but they do make money too. I don't want to be the only one making money. I don't want to be the only one paying for dinner. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to die for you. You know what I'm saying? We die together.
So wait a minute, Sly. So are you telling me you're a 50-50 man? You want to split everything down the middle? Okay. So there's a little bit to unpack there. And he said, I don't always want to pay for dinner. I don't want to die for you. And we're going to talk about who's responsible for 50-50ism. But I just want to ask the sisters on the panel, like, how would you feel if, you heard the man that you love say he didn't want to die for you? I'm just interested. Maud, since I see you laughing, I'll go to you first.
This is a question. It's just an odd question. Like, do I think that my husband would
No, not if you thought your husband would say that.
Okay.
The question is, how would you feel? How would you feel?
How would I feel?
Right.
If the person that I'm with said that he would not want to die for me.
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
I would say that makes you a human.
Okay.
So there are women who dehumanize men, right? Like, we want them to, I believe that the same way that men should protect women, like in an aspect, we as women have to make sure that we are also protecting our men in a way. So we don't put our men in certain situations and things like that. Now, there are some things that would be out of our control, but if the person that I'm with, and I'll just say my husband, because that's who I'm with, if he said that, then I would say, that makes you a human. Like, that makes you a person, because a lot of people don't want to put their lives on the line. It's a weird question, because, these are not things that people in long lasting relationships sit and talk about. Like, hey, you're gonna I have never in my life asked my husband if he's going to put his life on the line or take a bullet for me. So it's an odd question. And what questions are you asking? And I just have to ask you this, Abe, real quick. What questions are you asking the men here? Like, what responsibility do they have in these relationships? So what are you asking? What are the hypothetical questions for the men?
Well, we're talking about hypergamy, and the thing is, you guys, by not answering the questions last week, because you really kind of evaded some of the answers, and so this week, what our focus is on getting you to answer the questions, which you are. I mean, you are more direct with the questions today than you were with your responses today than you were in the previous episode. Now, I don't know if that's because there's a little bit of verbal fisticuffs going on, and there's some frustration, but you're answering the questions in a way that I wish you had during the last episode. So I see our brother Sly said, you know, AK play the full video. I'm with Peaches now. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's turning on me too. But the reason why I played that clip, because I couldn't play the whole clip. I mean, he did say that he's not with 50-50, and what we said was that it sounds like it is. But I stopped there because I wanted the focus to be on that limited clip, and we'll expand a little bit further. But so Ma'at, you addressed the question. You said that you accept the fact that he's human and is not a problem. Let me bring in. So Miss Polly, same question. How would you feel?
I will say this. Do you best say die for me? Can I say sacrifice? Is that okay? Is that still valid? Or y'all don't want me to change the word?
No.
Sacrifice, okay?
Let's deal with die. Let's just deal with die. He don't want to die for you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm saying because die is a little strong, but sacrifice, you know, if they wouldn't sacrifice for me, then I would say that there was a reason. There has to be a reason why they don't feel like I'm worth the sacrifice. Depending on what it is. Like, can we work it out? Like, if you're able to have a middle ground conversation with me about something, let's say like sacrificing a job, sacrificing something like that, then that definitely has to have the conversation. So what I would feel if someone says, I don't want to sacrifice for you, I'm just in it for the benefits of me. I'm not really concerned about your needs being met to any degree or things that I may lose by being with you or miss out on, then I would wonder what their intent is for me.
Oh, you can't took it down though. How do you feel about the fact that your man would say, "Hey, I'm not willing to die for my woman"? That's do you?
Yeah, that's why I asked, can I change the word? But if you go back
I know,
to
I just can't. Yeah, how do you feel about that part though?
Yeah, I will say I do agree with Maud. The die for me, no, I wouldn't even want you to die.
Okay, so you cool with that? You cool with that?
I'm cool.
So they shooting, and he like.
If it die, if you talking about sacrifice, it's different. Die.
But if we talking about sacrifice his life though, they shooting, and he said, "Yeah, we each man, meet me back at the house."
You take off running. He gone. Yeah, you there?
Yeah, that is true. That's the same thing. Yeah, he took off running. He first off, he did not at some point did not care if I was injured. And even as a woman, I've been in a car accident with a whole 600-pound man, and I was about to get in a car accident going in a circle on ice, and I put my hand over my man who's 5 pounds bigger than me because I wanted to protect them as a partner. So if they're not willing to do that too,
he was stuck in the car, but it's some bear in the woods right now.
Yeah. Oh,
that's faster than you. Do you want him to stay and fight that bear?
Oh, I'd be upset, Rico. I'd be like, nigga, you left me.
You feel some kind of way about the fact that your man.
Yeah, so you feel some kind of way.
The intent, he obviously didn't care about my well-being.
No, that does not mean that he's not going to cry profusely. That doesn't mean that he doesn't care. You don't want him to care with his emotions. You want him to care with his life. You just said you would feel some kind of way if he did a human thing and flee that.
That was contradictory of what you just said.
No, if a bear, I just said, what's the word? So we're going to say, if a bear is about to come maul me and this man just bounces on me, it's like, you didn't care?
Okay. But this is all an explanation of a bigger picture. The point is that what you hear from a man saying something like that is, I'm not going to protect you. And one of the things that makes a man attractive to a woman, I know maybe not y'all, but the rest of it. Listen, the one of the things that makes a man attractive to a woman is the fact that he can protect her. That is one of the things that makes him attractive. To say something like that would suggest to someone maybe he's not going to be as protective as that is.
Damn it.
Right?
Man.
He froze forward.
Yeah. Jump in. Help him out, Stan.
Okay. No, I mean, that's what I was saying. If the man is saying he's not willing to protect me as just a partner, I know you got to be gender role.
Hold on, Ray. You was frozen.
You were frozen. Go. Hold on, Miss Pop. Go ahead. Finish your point. Ray.
What if somebody breaks into the house and I'm in there, I'm gonna die first. That's just what it is. That's what I'm supposed to do, and that's what men have done since the beginning of time. One of the things that makes us attractive is the fact is why y'all go and pick men who are bigger, taller, who have muscles. Those things suggest something on a deep down level, on a subconscious level. It suggests to a woman, this man could protect me against danger. So you all are saying this doesn't exist. Not only does everything doesn't exist. Forget the words. Y'all worried about semantics. The idea is that this man is saying, I am not going to protect you. That is the thing. And regardless of what you're saying, if you feel like a man is not going to protect you, you won't be comfortable sleeping in the bed with him. We can talk all that.
No, that's true. I am. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, Ray. You're not even human.
I know, but what's frustrating to men is that these things that you're saying are not true. You're all saying that
you. I just say anything because I haven't had a chance to say anything.
It's about, but it is about actions. Like, I don't really care about the words that are coming out of your mouth. Like, every day is you showing me whether you can protect me or not. It's not about one sentence that comes out of your mouth, whether this person can protect me or not. Like, it's more. Okay, go ahead.
Do you want your husband to protect you? Go ahead. Or do you want him to run?
Yeah, just go ahead.
Do the human thing.
These are very tough questions.
But you asked me a very specific question. I already know what my husband will do. I already know how my husband protects me. I already know that my husband will put his life on the line for me. But you asked me a very specific question.
Right.
You want me to answer this question the way that you want me to answer this question. That's what this whole conversation has been about. It has been about, hold on, let me finish.
Let you finish. I'll be down.
Let me finish real quick, because I'm gonna be real quick.
You ain't never being quick.
I'm gonna be real quick. But you want to put women up here. You want to put them up here so you can talk about them, so you can chat them, say, look at these women. They're not even being honest. They're not being honest. So go ahead. You're
saying you're not being honest when you're not being honest. If I ask Ray a question, I want Ray to answer the question. If I ask,
and we're answering the question, and then you're saying you're not being honest. So what do you want from us?
I'm not saying you're not being honest at this.
You just said it.
I'm asking you a question. Do you want your husband to do the human thing? I'm not asking you what will he do. I'm saying if a bear jumps out the woods.
That wasn't the question.
Okay, but this is the question now. How about that? Because I can't go back in time. If a bear jumps out the woods, do you want your husband to do the human thing, or do you want him to stay and fight that bear?
Okay, hold on for a second before you answer, because Doc hasn't. She's been patiently waiting. I want to bring her in. Doc, how would you feel if you heard the man you love say he didn't want to die for you? Because it's a 50-50 love, right? He's not going to be in front of you. Y'all going to be side by side like soldiers. How do you feel about that?
I would feel some kind of way because I want to feel protected. I want to be protected. So I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say that I would expect him. I'm not going to say I would expect you to do a human thing. Now I would expect for you to do the thing and, take and protect me as much as you possibly can. That's just where I stand on that. I don't have nothing else to.
Exactly.
Wow. I am so, man, this is a breakthrough.
Exactly. So
this is a breakthrough.
That's clear. That's the woman that I'm going to fight.
That was a breakthrough right there.
That's the woman I'm going to say, baby, if I make it home, I make it home.
Damn.
I would fight the bear with you. I'm a little mannish though, so I would fight the bear.
You go home and deal with the kids.
Fight bears. That's what I do.
You go home and say, Dad did a great job. He did what he could, but he couldn't make it back home. That's what you do. You don't.
That's right.
Don't waste my sacrifice.
That's right.
I said I'm a little mannish. I can't help you about that. I'm gonna help fight the bear. I got you. We'll do it together.
When you with your girlfriend, when you with your man, you be
no. I'm just being honest. You want me to be honest? I'm mannish.
You're gonna be scared. You're gonna be running.
You can tell. No, never that.
You're gonna mess up the whole thing. Just like
it is what it is.
When you see the man in the fight, and then the woman be like jump in it too, then she get bopped, and then
I probably would.
Trying to help her, and then he get bopped too. You go get your butt, go get the car.
Rico, I'm being honest. Want to be honest and tell you what I would do, or are you asking me to tell you what I would do?
I appreciate your honesty.
Let me bring in Sweet Jones. Okay, Sweet Jones. There's been a rise in, you see a lot of women on TikTok and other social media platforms where women are complaining about having to pay half of the dinner, having to pay half of the rent, and in a growing number of cases, some are even having to pay half of their engagement ring. Now, this is like a real thing. I'm not making it up.
Okay, where do you get this stuff from, man? Let's hear where do you get this
stuff? Rico, am I making this up?
He's not making it up, but I believe he's asking Stan the question.
Yeah,
so I'm
okay. Yeah, I just wanted you to back me up on it. So Sweet Jones, with all these growing number of guys wanting to pay go half for everything, and with it being women who constantly saying that they want an equal partner, equal meaning half, well, aren't women responsible for the rise in 50-50 relationships?
Okay. Before I answer this question, sir, I wanted to jump in on that last one.
Sure, go ahead.
Not to stir anybody up on this panel, because all y'all had y'all turn to talk. All right. If y'all will go back and watch that clip, we just sat here and did all that, hopefully just for entertainment, because for for whatever other reason, it was totally like not what Sly was saying. Sly, my guy, you know what I'm saying? We tend to see things alike. That man was simply saying he don't want to die trying to provide for you, and you not help bring nothing to the table. It had nothing to do with protection. It had nothing to do with protection. Now look, brother, hey, Ray, hey, let me have mine now. I ain't interrupt nobody. That man was not talking about protecting nobody with his life. That man was talking about, hey, I believe in 50-50. Why should I go out here and break my damn neck and die for you to just get a free ride or just really bring that to the table? If I'm wrong, he'll correct me. But if you look at that clip, I think he was saying nothing that had anything to do with protecting nobody and giving up his life to protect not a single soul. Now, back to the question about TikTok. It's the women's fault. Women been wanting 50-50 rights for years and years and years and years. And when men start giving it to them, now it ain't right. Now they don't exactly want it to be 50-50 in a lot of cases. But why are we here? Is because this is what they wanted. And it kind of goes back to something I said earlier about some of the hypocritical nature that they can, bring to the table. You ask for it, you get it, then you complain about it, or it ain't right, or, you want to go find that man that won't make you, contribute. You know what I'm saying? So for those women who subscribe to that, it's your fault. The women who are okay with the 50-50 thing, much love from Sweet John.
Right.
I concur. We did use the clip of Sly saying that, and he was referring to him working himself to.
Yeah, but you don't throw that in.
No, I'm just saying.
You threw that in. No, you didn't have to say I ain't gonna die. That was.
But I still think it's still the same thing though. I would still ask the same question though. Are you willing to accept the fact that a brother is saying that he's not going to work himself to an early grave for your happiness. Because we as men have been conditioned to sacrifice, and we typically are willing to do it, but we're not willing to do it in exchange for complaints of dissatisfaction or being accused of being like misogynist or not. Like, hey, if I want to work and provide for your happiness, now I'm a misogynist because I don't want to come home and bicker with you about something that you know, I don't want to bicker with you about like whether or not you should have a new car if I bought you a car. Like, then if you want a new car, then, you know, then you go get it and do it yourself, you know, but I don't want to.
But, you know, I think that that whole idea of the 50-50 and not dying for you, I don't know why I threw that in, but that is a direct product of, like you just said, of them saying that they won't die. He is a product of this shit that they've been preaching all this time. Now you got it. Now it's unattractive. Now you got it. And, you know, I'm going to say it's a whole lot of women that's going to say that's jacked up, that he feels like that. But this is a product of what they start. This is why I believe that it's hard to take women's opinion into consideration, because they'll start stuff that they really don't like. And then when it comes to the end, when it's all messed up like it is now, then they'll blame the man. It's either way, it's a lose-lose, because they push this shit. They push this crap. Now you have men saying this shit that it sounds weird to me, but now this is what you produced. Now all they got to do is just push the responsibility on the man. Now they can just say man's fault that they did that. That's what they did.
At the end of the day, they still want the soon as I get home from work, brother. The one that pays your rent, buys your clothes, cooks your food, wash your car. At the end of the day, they still want that brother.
Mm-hmm.
That right. Brother, but it's not okay for us to want something from them. We have to want from them what they are willing to give.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
I want to ask you. So first, do you think it's the sister's fault about the rise of 50-50 relationships? And then the second, you know, part two of that question is, do women really want a 50-50 relationship?
So just so I can be, so I can understand, a 50-50 relationship is half. Like people splitting the bills down the middle.
Right.
So like paying half,
right.
other paying the other half. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So are you saying, is it women? I mean, it's both. No. I'm saying, you know, Ray said that it's women's fault. So I want you to address Ray's response first, and then tell me, do you think that if women truly want a 50-50 relationship? Anybody in a, you know, I don't know what a 50-50 relationship actually looks like. Like, how do people, I don't really understand. Like, how do people operate in a 50-50 relationship? See that, I mean, that's the thing, like when you have conversations.
No, it's a good question. You know, because it's something that a lot of women say they want until they get it. You know, because most chances are it's not going to end up being 50-50. The guy is going to end up paying the bulk of the bills.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's what they say. I mean, they start off saying that, I want equal. What they really should say is, see, they say 50-50 because they're trying to make it seem fair. What they really want 50-50 is equal say in the house, not equal response. Because when it comes to 50-50, everybody's 50-50 until the bills come. Then, hey, why can't you do that?
No, bro. No, sorry, bro. They do not want equal say in the house. They do not want equal say in the house. They want the majority of the say in the house.
Okay.
They don't want 50-50.
Can I give an example of a 50-50 house? Because I've heard, well, just to give you a better example of what it would be, just to help the conversation.
I think it's self-explanatory. 50-50.
No. She just said she was confused on what that would look like.
I would like to hear her explanation.
Like some people just say, do half in the bank. You have one bank account for all household stuff. You throw half in there, I throw half in there, and when the bills come out, they can just come out of that particular account. I've seen someone do that.
No, it's deeper than that.
So wait a minute. Hold on, Rico. So you're saying that you, Miss Polly, you throw half of your income in the bank, and your husband or boyfriend throws half. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said I've seen a relationship where that is. I don't think that's not my turn. I'm just saying I've seen someone say I want to do 50-50 with someone, and they have a man and a woman. They date, and they have one bank account that's dedicated to just bills. They split the bills even. So if the bill come in, it's $130. They pay half. The other one pays half, and they have another thing to keep their own money. That's a legit 50-50 situation with a financially.
No.
Now I've seen it, but I'm not saying it works. I'm saying that's an example.
Okay.
What this brother is referring to is that women are claiming they want a 50-50 relationship until it comes time for practically any responsibility.
No, but that's not what they asked. The question was, do you believe in it? And I've just given an example. That's it. She can answer the question how she wants to. What he said was, do you believe that 50-50 relationships work? We're talking about finances, so there it is. That's it.
Do you believe they work?
It's not my turn.
Okay, so Abe, can you? What was the? What was
you
the
didn't
question?
care when your turn when you start talking.
Hold on. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I just want to kind of respond to something that was just said.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that women want 50-50 of what was the power in the household, or what did you say?
Okay, so let me break that down. So when I say they want 50-50, 50-50 when it comes to the say.
Okay.
And now what I'm talking about goes back to discussions that we had on previous shows.
Mm-hmm.
One discussion was on our sister Hanifa show, where we talked about submit and how so many women have a problem with that word. And the very women who have a problem with the word submit have no problem saying that black men should lead or that black men should protect black women. But you cannot have one without the other. The two are inextricably linked. A man cannot lead you unless you're willing to submit to his leadership. A man cannot protect you unless you're willing to submit to his protection. It's the two are part and parcel, right? And so that's what I'm saying when I say that they want 50% of the say, but maybe not necessarily 50% of the responsibilities. And in this case, financial responsibilities.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the paradigm that you exist in, so some of us don't exist in that paradigm. So we don't exist in that paradigm. We don't exist in, I exist in a balanced household, so I don't exist. I've had this discussion on my channel about submission and the etymology of submission, and words have power. So I believe in words having power in what that means. The conversation is really about the value that you place on women. You place a lower value on women. So you have a problem when they start speaking up and speaking their mind. It's not about 50-50, because in a relationship, most people in relationships, the 50-50 does not really exist unless they are doing it like Miss Polly say. What has to be done gets done. Whoever paying for it, it gets done. Like if a bill has to get paid, the bill is getting paid, whoever has to pay it. And a lot of times we're listening to people who are not operating in a long-term relationship, because just like the stock market goes up and down, that's what finances can look like in a relationship. And so when you're talking about this 50-50 paradigm, and women wanting to have to say and submission and all this different kind of, talk that comes from your practice, then that's just not, everybody just doesn't exist in that. And so with that being said, do I think women promoted it? Yes, I think women just as men have, because we have to look at things on a spectrum, and we have to look at how things are a correction, how things start trying to correct. And then there are overcorrections, because we have to also understand there was a time in history where women were just and y'all are still kind of like in this paradigm. I'm not going to say y'all, but there are some men who still see women as objects, as property, as something to be obtained, as opposed to actually valuing that woman and what she is bringing to that relationship and what she's actually bringing to the family. So it's not about the 50, in my opinion, it's not even about 50-50, about 50-50. Like, it's not. But again, you know, maybe like Sweet Jones said, maybe I'm not the right person to be talking about this, because that does not, to me, I have not really seen a real valid 50-50 relationship. And then money, you providing money does not mean that I should or shouldn't have a say in the household.
That's exactly what it means.
What?
But see, again, Ray, show me your fruits. Show me the fruit that you have actually had, the fruit, right? Like a tree, a good tree produces fruit. So show me where you have been fruitful and have produced I'm not even going to say that, but you have produced an actual relationship that you're talking about that is successful. Show me that, because I can show you mine. So you can show me the fruit of it, and you can say whatever you want. If you can show me that success, show me the success, and then I will bow out.
You're not bowing out, first of all. With me being in the position I am is successful. I'm a single man. Marriage is successful. To me, I lost.
Okay. All right. So what are we talking about here? Are we talking about relationships or not?
That's not my metric of success. That means nothing.
Okay. So relationship. I'm not even talking about marriage, because you can be in a long-term relationship and you don't have to be married for it to be successful.
Either way, man, semantics is.
Why are you here? Why are you having this conversation?
This is a platform. What are we doing? We're not picking fruit off.
It's
baking cakes.
You don't have any motivation. You just want to attack women. I got you. All right.
I said nothing but good things about women. But of course, we talk.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I said that women encourage men to do better. I promote women being hypergamous. I talk about how men are pussyfied and they need to be better because our women are the staple of our community. But of course, you're a woman, you hear with woman ears. That's the problem.
I hear with woman ears.
Yes, woman ears. That means selective hearing. I know you want a definition of that. That means selective hearing. So when I criticize men, you can't remember that. But you can remember when I will say something good about women. I said dozens of things great about Black women. You heard it because you didn't want to hear it.
There is something that is called a backhanded compliment, right? You understand what that is?
No, please explain it to me, genius.
And see, that's the thing here too.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, but that's a backhanded comment.
I'm not going
that was backhanded.
Okay, let's bring it back. I mean, it's getting a little too heated. PeachDr, and then I'm coming to you, Miss Polly. No, you didn't got me to. Okay, so do women really want a 50-50 relationships? Ideally, do they really want that?
I mean, do women want that? No, they don't. They don't want the 50-50. I'm okay with 50-50 for many reasons. I'm okay with 50-50.
Okay, but ideally, that's not ideal.
I do want to,
That's not your ideal situation, though.
Do I want to have to pay less?
50-50 is not your ideal situation. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that, because I have no problem with having one account that we share, and I have another or other accounts, and
I'm not saying that it's a problem. No, it's not about whether or not it's a problem. But if you had a preference where a guy took care of most of the bills, or you split them 50-50. What is your preference? It's not about whether or not you mind. It's a binary choice. You either choose the man paying for pretty much everything, or y'all split it down the middle.
Split it down the middle.
That's your ideal situation.
Split it down the middle.
Okay, perfect.
What you say, Jones?
I say that's what she said. That's what I said, doctor.
She ready to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't.
Yeah, right.
Came in
right.
peace. I was not. It's no winning with you, man. I swear. I literally was coming in peace.
No,
I
actually,
only said that because that's not this isn't new to me. I don't think I deviated from what I've said past conversations with people. I'm still right. I'm 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can respect that.
Gonna pump the gas half the time too?
Do I want to pump the gas?
Are you gonna pump the gas?
I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm just asking.
Hold on. You asked me a question, Rico. I just want to answer your question, Rico. Come on, just let me ask. You asked me, do I want to pump the gas half of the time? I will pump the gas every time. I will cut the damn grass, even if it was acres, as long as I ain't got to go to that motherfucking mailbox. If I ain't got to go get the mail out the mailbox, I'll do. You want me to go pump half of the gas? I'll pump the gas. So, as long as I ain't got to go to the mailbox, that's all I'm asking for.
Somebody breaking the house. Somebody breaking the house. Are y'all both going to the door?
No. They gonna take turns. They gonna take turns.
Hold on. Okay, let me please address that. You asked, if somebody breaking the house, are we both going to the door? No, because I also stated previously in this conversation that I want to be protected.
Yes.
And that 50-50 then?
Take a moment to applaud her for just answering the questions, though.
That is a plausible.
Yeah, I'm applauding you. So it's not saying nothing bad. I'm taking a moment to acknowledge that I appreciate the fact that I was able to ask you a question and get a clear understanding of where you stand. And I happen to appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay.
But I would pump your gas.
So 60 know that you would. So really 65-35. Because I gotta go die.
65-30.
I gotta go die. Hey, I'm just saying that death right there.
In all fairness, most of them want you to die anyway.
I know.
We're worth more dead than alive if we got good life insurance.
There's that.
I was gonna share that with y'all though, that she would damn cut the grass if she ain't got to check that damn bill.
Calvin is definitely worth more dead than alive. I mean, Calvin is definitely more, because I think them life insurance policies start in around about 50,000. So Calvin is definitely worth more dead than alive. But just saying, I think that's like the floor right there, about 50,000. So
okay, Miss Polly. Same question before we go to the next segment.
Okay. Well, I was going to just hit that real quick before I say, you said if you both, someone's at the door, when we both go, if you have children or whatever, but I would go protect my children and you can go to the door, but it would be like we're protecting our home and we're just doing it differently, but yet same thing. That would be for me. But anyway, do I want it 50-50 or ask the question again? I'm gonna answer it.
Do women really do they really want a 50-50 relationship? Oh. Okay, thanks for.
Do they really? I don't think so. I think most majority of women do not want 50-50. I don't believe they do. No. But.
Don't say but. Don't say
no.
but.
No, I said majority don't want that.
I'm being silly. I'm just being silly. I'm sorry.
Majority don't want that, and it's because they were told that they shouldn't. And let's just be honest, like we're all humans, right? We want to work smarter, not harder. Point blank. That's why we get technology and do things easier, so we have to do less. If you tell anybody, man or woman, hey, if you do a different thing, I can take up this and it'll be easier for you. I mean, that just makes sense. As humans are going to say, yeah, I'll take these route. And if men are providing an easier way for women to not do something, why would a woman say no? So that's me being honest. But whatever works for you in your relationship, that works for you.
Yeah.
But I don't think most women want that.
Okay.
No.
We're going to segue over to our last segment before our closing remarks. I want to share a video of the last episode we have where our sister Hanifa shared her opinions on Kevin Samuels and his teaching of young men to embrace the concept of hypergamy. Yes.
To the problem, because Amanda has reduced himself to solely money, resources. Because let's be honest, I was looking at the Kevin Samuels video and I'm looking at it like, wow, people literally was tuning in, like really tapped into this dude. And I'm looking like, this is a goofball. Like, I'm sorry if I know he's a lot of people's goddaddy, but I'm looking at this thing and he's like, Godfather, not goddaddy, Godfather. And I'm looking at it like, dude, what? And these are 20-something-year-old men that are listening to this. And what I think it has created is these men are not focused on character and these things that really matter that's going to sustain a relationship, a marriage. They're focused on the bad. And what I think that this is going to create, which you see the passport bros and all of these things coming up, is that men who don't have really good character, they come off as very soft, you know the types. And what it's creating is it's making those men think that these women are passing them over solely because their lack of resources.
Okay.
To the problem, because
that's hold on one second.
Solely money, resources.
That's a bit to unpack here. I want to bring in a special guest. Let me see. Let me bring him. I got to give me 1 second because he called in at the last minute, and I had to bring him in. Give me 1 second. Okay. I got to bring him in. Okay. I don't. Give me 1 second.
Hey, while you making an adjustment, bro, I'm gonna run real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me get y'all started while I work on bringing him up. So, okay. Hanifa said a lot, and I didn't agree with much of what she said in that clip. She referred to Kevin Samuels as a goofball goddaddy who is somehow misleading young men to accept hypergamy and focus on making money instead of character development. I'm going to put Ray. Go ahead and take this question first. I mean, she said that these men were listening to Kevin Samuels and not focus on character, things that matter when it comes to sustaining a relationship. They just focus on the bag. Do you agree with her thoughts? Go ahead and start us off while I work on getting this.
Well, she was saying, because it kind of paused a little bit, that you're saying that men don't.
She said that men are not focused on character development. I mean, the young men are focused on chasing the bag rather than character and the things that is needed to sustain a relationship.
No, but we understand that we need to get our paper up. That's one of the main things. And yeah, we do need character. That's a very important thing. And she's saying Kevin Samuels wasn't teaching that type of stuff. She's saying just because I think that he taught that all the time, because it kind of paused in the middle. But, it seems like these are the things we always teach. Character development is very important to attaining a woman. I think they hear that we just say, talk about money all the time. Like, it's other aspects of a relationship. they hear all or none. There's a lot of other things associated with it, not just making a lot of money. You have to have a personality. You have to be charming. You have to be funny. It's a long list of things that it takes to attract a woman. It's not like us. It's a shorter list for us than it is for a woman. And if you don't have all of those things, or at least a majority of those things, women won't be attracted to you. And we understand that from a male's point of view, it's a way harder to attract you all than it is for you all to attract us. So we understand that that's the case. No, money is an aspect of it. It's just not the entirety. I don't know why we got this all or none mentality. It has to be, oh, you just only focus on money. No, we focus on money, conversation, humor. It's a list of things. Women don't want a pump. They want a real man. And you have to have all them things. So no, we don't just focus on the bag, man. That's ridiculous. I don't know who suggested that.
I want to bring in Al Money. Al, you got to unmute yourself.
What's going on?
Hey, nothing much.
This is very, very interesting. I'm over here watching it with my lady, and let me say, Ray, you are really much a philosopher. I just want to let you know. You said a lot of things, so I have to call in. I just have to. But
I like him already.
What I want to say, I want to go back on this 50-50 thing. I don't know what y'all just were talking about, the 50-50. It's no such thing as 50-50 at all. But I believe it is weak-ass men's fault for allowing women to think they have a 50-50 and believing it and promoting that. Like, you got these suckers on Instagram or whatever, like, oh, a woman, like, no, it's no such thing. And I treat my woman very, very well. But it's no such thing. And AK put it better. He said, a woman got to submit. You want a man to lead, and that's how it's supposed to be. But I think women are too vocal now. It's sometimes, sometimes they just got to shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. That's just really how it is. And then the world will be better. That's how Kevin Samuel was saying. If they just shut up, everything will be good. And we'll treat them like queens that they deserve to be.
Okay.
That's right.
The only thing is, what I ask is, that abrasive tone, let's try to avoid that.
Yeah, but I have to put my Kevin Samuel into it, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah. Let's because the thing is, the spirit of the show is that we're trying to bring the brothers and sisters together, and we're trying to reach a consensus. The problem that we're having here is that a lot of the sisters are saying that they are not about the money, that the money doesn't matter, and for most of us,
that's a lie. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a lie. We all know that.
We listen. If character mattered more than money, well, let me ask Sweet Jones for a second. When you were growing up, who did the girls like? The drug dealer or the guy that was working at McDonald's?
That's a good question.
The drug dealers.
Oh, okay.
Right.
God damn.
Right.
But they said Calvin. I
like the bad
Calvin.
They like the bad. Well, everybody was selling dope. They like the bad boys. They like the boys that had some money in their pocket. They like the boys that had a whip that could pick them up for school or drop them off. They like the dude that had a little money in their pocket. Yes.
Did Calvin? What about Calvin? He worked at McDonald's. What about him?
I mean, there was somebody for him too, but the majority of the women wanted the dope boys or the dude that had a little bit more money.
I thought that all of them were like based off of what I heard.
No, it ain't all of them, because I ain't work at McDonald's. I ain't sell dope, but I ain't have no problem. Right. So, yeah, it is what it is.
But hold on, you hear what? You ain't had no problem because you were young. Well, a woman that's 30 years old is not gonna mess with no broke man. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, he asked about high school, but you're right.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, so
but they ain't gonna marry him, but they'll have his babies though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me say something. I want to say something. Okay, a while back he's like my role model, Michael Blackson. I had him on my show, And he said it best. A woman don't want to be with a broke man that's faithful. They rather be with a man with money and cheap. And that's just probably 80% of the women would. They don't want to be with no broke man. No woman is going to be with a broke man. Money, I mean, it's sad to say, that's what it's about.
That's right.
We're superficial. Man, we're superficial. Women look at the success of us. All of them. I don't care what they say. They all think like that.
100%.
Right, but is it the man who is focused only on the money, or is the woman who's only focused on the man's money? They keep accusing it's the women that are focusing on the men's money.
Yes, it is the woman. And when people, it's been since the beginning of time, since we had to go take her father the goat and give him the cow. It's nothing new. It always been, everybody just accepted. A woman's not gonna mess. You think I want my sister to mess with a broke man? No. You think anybody want their daughter to mess with a broke man? No. They looking for a provider, because when a man dies, he's going to hope a man's going to be able to take care of his daughter. We don't worry about our son, because our son is going to go get it. He's going to figure out how to get it. It's the daughter that we worry about. And, you know, when women start understanding that, it's going to be better. But you got to have people like, I think it's Dr. Ray. He's the philosopher, right? It's people like him. If we have more men like that, the world would be a better place.
I tried to tell them, they love
so you believe, so since you want more men like Ray.
Yes.
You believe that a woman should, in the words of Ray, shut up, be quiet, you don't get to address nothing. That's what you think this world needs more of?
Bingo.
Why? What is the benefit of that?
Now, do you see? You know, only in America we had this problem, because we let women have too much voice. It's only in America.
Okay.
Exactly.
You don't have those problems in Russia.
I've been saying this for you.
Japan. We don't have those problems. Now, all these Western companies, when they promote all this stuff, it's like, look. And trust and believe, I treat my woman well. I love her. She right behind me. She don't agree with everything I'm saying, but she ain't gonna come and say, "Oh, he don't treat me." And I do listen to her. A good leader knows how to follow too. But at the same time, like, yeah, Ray is actually 100% right. A woman should just because we don't think with our heart. We're not emotional thinkers. We're logical thinkers.
I cannot.
So, I know we were going to talk about the Hanifa's reaction to the Kevin Samuels video, but what do you make of it when you hear men say that women are emotional, they're not logical thinkers, and only men are logical thinkers?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So I believe, okay, so I'm gonna address your question, but that's like saying men don't emote. And as we can see in these spaces that men emote, but what happens is that we go into these different spaces, and whatever we believe about the other person, these other people. So whatever I believe about Black men, I can go into a space, I can sit back, and they will be speaking to me. And I can sit there, and whomever I'm around, so if I think Black men are trash, if I think Black men are a certain way, then I can go into a certain space, and they're going to be speaking to me, and I'm going to believe everything that they say. Just like men can come on to a certain platform, and they can do the same thing. They can say, oh, well, women are behaved like this. Women are dishonest. This is how women think. And they're going to go into spaces where that is what they agree with, no matter what we say. So to me, it's like when you're having these conversations about the opposite, about relationships. I'm not sure where that feedback is coming from, but about
mom, lower your that's you.
About each other, it's not a really great. We're not really communicating well because I'm saying one thing, but then you're telling me what I'm thinking. You're telling me what I'm feeling, and so with that, a person that is balanced, whether that is a man or a woman, if they are balanced within themselves, they are able to exist within logic and emotion. They're able to merge the two, because there are men that are emotional and don't have a bit of logic. There are women that are logical and don't have a bit of emotion. We have to have both of those things to exist. Now, do I agree that men can be more logical? I do agree. I believe that at times, my husband can be more logical than me, but logic can only get you so far and emotion can only get you so far. You have to be able to balance those two things. But what happens is that we get into these different spaces. So we have people that go into these manosphere or Kevin Samuels or whatever spaces, and they're preaching to you. They're preaching to your whatever you going through, whatever you feel about women, they're preaching to you. Just like there's Black women who can go into certain spaces and they're preaching to you. So when you come into a space like this, where you are supposed to be having a productive conversation, you are not having a productive conversation because you only still hear with your Kevin Samuels ears. You only still, there's Black women who can only hear, I don't know if y'all know who Cynthia G is, but you can only hear with your Cynthia G ears. But you're not hearing what's actually being said. Because when you're in a relationship, and that's why I value relate, and there's different types of relationships. I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. A woman who is developing sisterhood has to learn how another woman communicates. A woman or a man who have children, they have to learn how if you have different children, you have to learn how each one of those children communicate, because they don't all communicate the same. They don't all learn the same way. And so when it comes to these conversations, and we don't even want to acknowledge that I even can hear, we talk about women having partial hearing, or selective hearing, selective hearing, but the selective hearing goes both ways, because I guarantee you right now, there are probably a couple people on this panel who cannot actually hear what I'm saying. You know why? Because I'm a woman and I don't really have any value. You don't value me as a woman. You only value what's between a woman's legs. That's what you value. You only value what you see from a woman. You only value her breasts and her booty, and you value those things first before you don't even want to hear what I say, because you don't value my mind. We can't think. We're supposed to shut the fuck up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was that one's
period. Fellas, y'all all right?
I don't get that. I don't get that one.
I'm perfectly all right. I think that if people didn't value more than what was between your legs, you wouldn't be on the show.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about Abe, though. I'm not talking about Abe.
But you said there's people.
No, hold on. Me and Abe met somewhere in another place. Abe has been on my show. Abe was one of the first people to actually come up on my show. I've had conversations with Abe, so I don't put Abe. See, I know how to put men in different boxes, just like I know how to put women in different boxes, just like I know how that all 4 of my children are different. They think differently, they operate differently, they maneuver differently, they learn differently. We don't know how to do that with one another. I can look at each one of you men, I can have conversations with each one of you men, and I would be able to understand
I'm making a simple point. If you were not adding value to the show and sex is not a part of the show, then you would not be on the show. So you are valued for more than
it's definitely
your
a part of
legs.
this
And if
show.
we did not want you to open your mouth and talk, not talking about Abe, but people on the show, people in the chat, people who have subscribed to the channel, then you would not be on the show. So you're not.
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know.
You're not here.
Hey, let me say something.
You're not here to sit down and
I want to agree with her. I want to agree with what she just said.
Okay.
I'm gonna just be. She made a point. Because when I meet a woman, I got a woman, been with her for 3 years. So, but I'm just be honest. I don't want to know what her mind is like. I'm looking at her body. Excuse my language. That's what I'm looking at. I don't care about what's in her head. Like, she's telling the truth. Like, what man goes in? I gotta look at her.
She spoke about people not being able to hear her because all they care about is what's between her legs. Now you're on this show to be heard.
Okay. Well,
you're on this show to be heard.
But
you're not on the show for what's between your legs.
But Rico, y'all
Like,
when
you
we
only
talk about a
select
value because right clear as day.
What I'm talking about is what she talked about. She said
right, but she was also in response to what the things that
I think
Annie said and Ray said. Ray clear as day said that it's a woman should shut the fuck up, basically.
Well,
Ray talked about a relationship. She talked about the show.
Hold on.
They talked about a relationship. She talked about medical and shows like this.
Hold on, Rico. You know, Al Money, you came in here, you launched a grenade with that women need to. He like, what did I do? And so, but this is what she's saying. She's saying that women shouldn't be, well, the women shouldn't be talked to that way, to sit down and shut the fuck up. And that's why I was saying, let's try to avoid the abrasiveness, because the goal of what we're trying to do here is men are trying to air out their grievances. The sisters are trying to air out their grievances. And we're trying to come to a general consensus where we reach some type of solution. It would have been great if you were on earlier. I mean, we're at the tail end of it, but let me open it up to the panel. Just a quick minute and a half for each person. I did want to get a reaction to our sister Hanifa's reaction to Kevin Samuels, because I think she I don't know. I think she didn't. She misinterpreted what Kevin Samuels was telling the young brothers. Yeah, you may say that him putting the boxes was maybe a little corny, or
I agree.
Or him talking about this how you check your bitch.
Right.
Because I know he said that in that clip. He said this is because you don't get to check your bitch if you ain't doing X, Y, and Z. That's what he said.
Right.
Was that a lie?
But hold on. Okay, take the bitch language out of there. Take the bitch language out of there. Is what he's saying a lie as far as in order to keep your woman in her feminine, you have to be masculine, and being masculine does mean providing and protecting for your woman, for your spouse, or for your girl. Because in the absence of masculinity, women then become masculine. And it's why women who have to provide for their boyfriends treat them like, they try to son them, right? And they act like mama bear. It's why women who don't have men are overly aggressive. So in light of that, what is he saying that's incorrect? That's all I'm trying to. What is he saying that's incorrect that deems him being called the godfather of goofballs for trying to teach men to embrace hypergamy? Because one way or another, you're going to realize that hypergamy is real. If you feel like, hey, like women just love you for your character, get with a woman and get married, and y'all struggle for too long and see what happens.
Oh yeah, here comes Jody.
Yeah,
here comes Jody. But this goes back to what I said before. Kevin Samuels criticized men harshly. He
criticizing them in that clip
harshly. That's the thing. But those are not the things they remember. I talk about how women are great a lot. I talk about how men need to stop fucking up and get their shit together. But guess what you remember? Guess what is the rip? And I say it loud. It's not like I say it soft. Well, men don't do. No, I say men act like pussies. They need to get their and everybody heard it. But you know what you remember? You remember the worst thing ever. That just goes to show that we communicate so differently. We had a show on that before. How we communicate. We talked about our communication just completely different. We just talk so different, and we just assume the worst things.
Mm-hmm. PeachDr, let me bring you in. What was so egregious about what Kevin Samuels said in that video?
Where I think he could have made his point a little bit better than he did. I don't think it's, the language that he used was degrading. And so again, I understood he's telling men to, in Ray's words, stop being some pussies and get yourself together, get your stuff, raise your game. So I get that, right? Like, I clearly understood his message. I didn't like his method at all. He was very abrasive. I mean, like, I don't like, you check your bitch because your bitch out of control because she doing X, Y, and Z. That's the reason why you can't check your bitch is because you ain't got your money up. You can say what he meant, all this, then the third. I'm giving you the words that came out of his mouth from that clip, which I totally find to be very demeaning. And it should also be demeaning to you men who are sitting on this panel. Because I know you can say, oh, yeah, that's my bitch. Oh, yeah, this, that, and the other. Oh, bitch, shut the fuck up. That's how you talk to yours. That's you and yours. Mm-hmm. But do I find that to be something respectful in a relationship? No, I do not. And what he said, and you all seemingly agree with him, says a lot about you. That's all I have.
Sweet Jones?
Hey, from what I recall from the video, because I don't remember, verbatim or whatever, but I agree with what Dr. Peace just said. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this highlights a bigger point for me as it pertains to pretty much this whole discussion tonight. We all got to stop acting like we don't hear what we want to hear sometimes. That's the fellas and that's the women. It ain't just one side. Because where Ray can hear Kevin Samuels said, get your stuff together, step your game up, whatever. That don't change the fact that he said the reason why you can't talk to your chick a certain kind of way or can't get your chick to do X, Y, and Z is because your money ain't right. If your money was right, you can just give her your card and she'll go the hell away. He said, and I know I might not be saying the exact words, but that's what he alluded to in that video.
No, that's what he said.
So that is what I want to say. And you can take this as my closing remarks. We all got to stop acting like we not being selective. Mayat sat right here and said, it's going to be somebody. It may be somebody who's going to not hear what I just said. And they're going to take a piece of what I said and so on and so forth. And it happened. All Rico de Plug commented on was when she said something about between her legs, that triggered him. He was sitting back in the cut chilling the whole time until she said. So I'm just simply saying we can't just act like it's just one-sided when it comes to selective hearing. We all are guilty of this shit, myself included.
Thank you.
At certain times.
Saying that.
So we just need to be. We need to do that. We need to keep
so
that in
mind. So you should lead by example then. If we all selective hearing, because I believe you being selective with my hearing, I wasn't triggered by just the fact that she said that. I was triggered by the fact that she pointed out that people in these spaces don't value women. All they value is what between their legs. So she's talking about. She's talking. I'm using your words.
No, you're not.
Talking about these spaces and shows like this and shows like Kevin Samuels' show. You're being very selective when you talk about Kevin Samuels. And first of all, on that show, he wasn't even talking to women. So for a woman to have the audacity to say what we should be offended to when we're being talked to by our brothers, you got a lot of nerve.
But it was out there for the whole of everybody.
No, but he was addressing.
Women watching. There were women watching.
You
There
can
were
watch
many
all you
women
want. You can watch all you want, but if I'm
he might have
talking to
been
Ray,
addressing men, but it's the way
you
that
can
he
watch
addressed men
all
and
you
talking
want. But
women.
if I'm talking to Ray, I'm not talking to you.
It is what it is.
Talking about, he was talking to brothers, and he was talking about specific brothers who were complaining about mouthy women. And he said, if you even want a chance, you need to first get your shit together. That's what he was talking about, and that's who he was talking to. He wasn't talking to you. And then if you're going to talk about people being offended by people calling women bitches, don't nobody call women more bitches than other women. Because I don't call women bitches. I'm using the word right now. I don't call them that. Don't nobody call women more bitches than other women. So now you need to check them before you talk about us being disgusting. I don't have selective hearing. I listen to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was addressing. I selected a comment to address. I heard what the sister said, and I was trying to let her know that I hear you. I don't value your vagina because that's for your husband to value.
Oh my goodness, you are. Look at the comments.
Yo,
Rico. Look at the comments.
Sister, did you look at the comments about your stuff?
Look at the comments because everyone heard me.
It's under you, but you gonna try to point the finger back at her.
Sister, I asked you.
That's so childish.
Sister, I asked you a question.
That's so negative. That's so negative.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I asked you a question.
Hold on.
Have you read the comments about the stuff that you said?
Hold on. I want to bring it back.
Oh, negative.
Miss Polly, I want you to give your thoughts on our sister Hanifa's reaction to the Kevin Samuels video, and then I want to go around and get closing remarks from everyone. Let's keep it to a minute for closing remarks, but go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Well, I mean, she has her own opinion about, like I respect that she has her opinion about it. But for myself, just his message in general, I don't think it's necessarily wrong. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because, like, I kind of agree with everyone was saying, is he was particularly talking to people who want a particular relationship, conditional relationship, where this is what you get and this is what you're going to receive. So if you want a relationship like that, this is what you have to do to get that. And so he was explaining to people who want that kind of relationship what to do. So that, like, I will agree to some point what Rico's saying, if he is talking directly to those people to give them advice on a relationship that you don't think is okay, it's really like just your opinion. He's giving out information based on people who want that information. They want to know, what do I do if I don't want my girlfriend in my face all day because I'm working? Well, this is what you do. Give her the car, let her run the streets, do whatever she does, and then tell her to come on home when it's time. If that's the relationship you want, and there are some women, let's just be honest, who want that. They want their man, pay their bills, give them stuff, and let them go out to Cancun with their 5 friends. They like that. They want that. And he's giving the information, well, this is what you do to keep that kind of woman. And that's okay. If that's what you want, if that's your structure that you look for, then this is what you do. So I think that's okay. And another thing with the language, I don't like it personally, yes. But other men talk to each other like that. So we have to know that the atmosphere he's in is where men are okay with that language with each other in private. And that's where they say that, boy talk or whatever crap is because, or the, the gym locker talk. You will hear men talk like that. If you haven't been around it, I don't know, but that's how they sound. So if that's how they want to talk to each other and they're okay, they're okay. There's some people who call girls bitches and you'll never know when they're in public. So you have to let them be what they're doing, leave it alone. It's not for us. It's not for other people who have different structure. And I don't think I'm that offended because there are women who want that and there are men who want to give women that, and he's giving them advice. And so I think it's fair. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I can see how someone could be offended if they don't like that. Mm-hmm. But that's a personal opinion.
Right. Good thoughts. I will say that it has been an interesting show. It was a little spicy, a little fiery. from all sides, but passions on all sides. But overall, I thought it was a great show. I want to begin closing remarks. I'll start with Al Money and just keep it around 90 seconds. But let's end on a positive note. We've had a lot of back and forth. Let's end on a more constructive note as far as how we need to see each other, what we need to do to move the dialogue forward in a very constructive way. Moms, give us your thought.
All right. Well, I just think we just need to listen more. Just basically listen more. That's the main thing. Listen where people coming from. I think if we listen more and not get brainwashed, men and women, with this social media crap, and go back pre-1960 days, things would be a lot better. Because I think that's be best. Listen more, get rid of social media, and then we'll be good. We'll understand each other more. That's basically what I gotta say.
Okay. Miss Polly.
Yeah.
Just your closing thoughts, man. Let's end on a very positive, constructive note.
Indeed. I would say in our whole financial conversation was kind of get more clarity on things, which kind of mixed in with emotional stuff too. But I will just say overall, I think like you said, find a relationship that you want. Not everybody's relationship is going to be the one that you want or need. And stay in your lane if that's what you want to do. If you want to be a hypergamous or you want to be poly or you want to do whatever you want to do, stay in your lane and do what that dynamic needs you to do. That's what I personally believe. I think that'll make things a lot easier. If you're looking for a traditional woman, look for a traditional woman who's going to give you traditional. Don't look for a traditional man and you want to be a more modern woman and you want something different and then expecting that same person to give you something that they can't provide you with. It just makes sense. But that's basically the wrap up simply. And just be aware of what you need and maybe talk to somebody about what you're really looking for. Because some people are very confused about what they're looking for and what they're actually trying to get. They get confused. It's confusion. So just clarify that. That's all.
Okay, good thoughts. Sweet Jones.
Yeah, I think I gave my closing remark, last time I spoke, so I'll pass it on to PeachDr.
Doc.
I just think like this all goes back to having balance, and I think Hanifa has spoken about that previously in our sessions, and I think like where there is a need for women to want men, need men, desire men, that does exist, right? Like it's not like there are like a whole lot of us out there that are saying that they don't need or don't want a man to be a part of their life or to pay more, do more, if it's 60-40 or if it's 70 or if it's 80-20, whatever the case may be, is you finding that balance with the person that you're with. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Rico.
I love what Miss Polly said. Do what works for you. Try to be as clear and be as clear as possible about what it is you want and what it is that you bring to the table, what you're willing to share. I've seen a lot of people like to use that bring to the table thing, but it doesn't matter if you're going to bring it to the table and you're only going to put it on your plate, then it doesn't really matter what you bring to the table. So what you're willing to share, be clear about that and what you expect, what you can provide. And let's just be honest about it. That is my biggest issue that I see in public. Just because it's not what's happening in your household doesn't mean that it's not going on all around you. So we're here to have conversations and just try to make things better for everybody so that everybody can get what they want. Because it's possible that everybody can get what they want out of this. We just have to be honest and like brother said, to actually listen to one another. It doesn't mean speak, but you do have to listen.
Okay, good thoughts. Maud, you were very, very passionate and spirited today. Normally, you are the most stoic, and you're calm. You have this calm disposition, but today you brought the fire. Give us your closing thoughts.
Well, thank you, Abe, once again for inviting me. I appreciate your platform, and thank you for recognizing my passion, and it was not anger. But what I want to say is that, Dr. Wade Nobles, he talks about, he's an African psychologist, and he talks about us having like tornadoes of the mind because we exist in this, what we call, it's a foreign reality. It's foreign to what we as a people recognize. So we come from a background of community, but we're living in this very individual paradigm where everything is individual. That is where capitalism takes place, and all these different things where it's like chasing the bag and all these things. So, and that goes into what he calls the traumatized, disconnected spirit. And so that is coming from us being imprisoned in a foreign environment, and we are going to continue to have these conversations because, we're literally kind of walking around insane in a sense. And so what I'm going to end with is just, there's a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I talked about it on my channel before. And it talks about in the book about how we are different, how we're different between animals. They experience stress just like we experience stress, but we're different because we pre-experience traumatic situations. And a lot of our traumatic situations just come from our relationships. It could have came from our mother, our fathers, friendships, whatever they can be. And it's not like they happen once and then they're over. Like, as a people, our traumatic experiences have happened over and over again. And so then we become triggered by certain words, certain things that happen to us. And then what happens is then there's like this imbalance that is a part of us. And then that becomes our normal reality. So what I'll say to that is that we have to, if we're really going to really have these conversations and really want to move forward, however we want to move forward, then we have to seek that balance within us. I can only harmonize with my partner, with my spouse, with my husband, if there's harmony within myself and he has harmony within himself, and then we can come together and we can create harmony together. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Good thoughts. Ray.
I think we've displayed on many shows how difficult it is for male and female to communicate. But it's absolutely necessary for us to have that communication. I don't think it's, you really limiting me by having to say something positive here, but I'm gonna make an attempt here. I gotta say that it's very difficult to communicate between male and female. And I think we all see that in all of our relationships. It's not that you all communicate incorrectly or we communicate incorrectly, we just communicate differently. It's very hard to do it because we have to talk so different. And that is a main thing that we need in mending this relationship that I'm going to say the white man had big parts in messing up hundreds of years ago. So I think our nature is just to speak differently. And when there's something natural, I don't look at it as malicious. A lot of things that we do differently as male and female, I don't look at in a malicious manner. I believe that you're naturally this way, and that way it's not realistic to expect you to do something otherwise. So when it's innate, it's not malicious. It comes automatic. So I just believe we just have to have some sort of understanding at some point, or we'll continue leaving and going to other races.
Okay. All right. I will say this. I'll keep mine short because I mean, pretty much I agree with a lot of what the panelists have said here today. I do think we need to begin to value each other more, as well, and see take a look from the other side. I don't know how much we got resolved today, but I will say that the sisters gave more definitive answers than they did on the previous show, and that is appreciated. I think we have a lot more work to do in terms of our communication, but that's what these shows are about. These shows are about bringing both men and women together, airing our grievances, and then trying to find some common ground. And oftentimes that won't be done in one show. But that is our time for now. For those of you who are still in the chat, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, be sure to keep an open mind, think for yourself, and stay lit. AK on fire.